Cool. All right. Well, welcome to the 16th anniversary of Career Partners E Squared Finals. I'm Roki Castro, serving on the Career Partners Board of Directors and the E Squared Program Management Team, alongside Sandy Boone, Randy Richards-Lutz, Beth Lane, please raise your hand in the back, Ashley Carter, please raise your hand over here, and Patty Singleton. Today we celebrate the remarkable achievements of our students. Let's witness the culmination of their hard work, collaboration, and innovation. Teams, you've made it this far, so please take a deep breath and let's get started. Today we will hear the presentations from 6 amazing teams. They've been working diligently since January to impress our venture capitalists. A big thank you to Patty Singleton and Sandy Boone for making today's programs. Hopefully you all picked them up in the back. In your program, you'll see the winners throughout the years and a brief introduction of today's finalists. You will also see our request regarding cell phones. So if you've not already done so, please turn off your phones or silence them. And do not use them until all presentations have been delivered. Please refrain from talking until presentations are complete and the judges have finished their commentary. In the interest of complete fairness, there must be no communication between members of the audience and any team with any team that has not yet made their presentation. Teams may be disqualified for inappropriate communication. Does everyone understand? Can I get an acknowledgement? Thank you very much. All right. Please take note of our Career Partners sponsors behind me and contributors, including coaches, guest presenters. They'll be scrolling throughout the screen behind us in between presentations. We can't do this event without all of you and the support that the community gives us. It takes a small army to put on this program, along with thousands of man-hours to operate. We thank you. Here's a brief recap of the semester that got us here. We started by randomly selecting teams, and for the first time since the pandemic, we brought back our E Squared kickoff event to the Daniel Technology Center. At the kickoff, students and coaches met their teams for the first time. They also participated in a team building and bonding event curated by the folks at Verdun. Adding to the excitement, Jeff Say and Dr. Brads acting on the roles of pilot and co-pilot. You can choose who was pilot or co. Set the stage for the E Squared journey. This was followed by a motivating speech by Mr. Bennett, here today, who's a local entrepreneur. The following week, the teams headed out to Verdun for team building events where they were put to the test of high ropes and low ropes and much more. The students tell us that that was the favorite day of E Squared so far, but what they just learned is that they get to go on Sunday to Hershey Park for a capstone field trip as the ending culmination of their E Squared journey. Students attended workshops on how to write a business plan, how to find out what the heck a business plan is, as well as marketing, finance, oral presentations. Our amazing coaches, please take a moment to get to know them. They're listed in the program. Visited the classrooms weekly, sometimes daily, to help guide these students through the program and the process. I'd like to give a huge thank you to Green Roost, Express Graphics and Copy. If you're here, raise your hand, thank you. Able Heating and Air, I think we've got reps from Able here, thank you, Greg. And Carpe Donut for graciously hosting students on a field trip to their businesses. This provided invaluable opportunities for our students to meet the founders and gain insights to the intricacies of starting, owning, and operating a business. All the while, these students continued to drink from the fire hose. They learned about finance, accounting, social entrepreneurism, research writing, and meeting together in person often before, after, and during school. The transformation of these students was tremendous and also inspiring. I wish that all of you could have participated along the way and seen what these students have gone through in E Squared. We are joined today by 7 highly qualified judges who will have a tough job of selecting this year's winner. In order to stay on schedule, I refer you to the program, which includes their bios. We could honestly be here all day if I had to go through and introduce each one, and I hope you guys can feel the intellectual horsepower that's generated. And in the case of Norm Loudermilk, the jet fuel that boosted a satellite into orbit last night. Please welcome our judges. From my left, Mr. Ed Dalrymple, Mr. Xavier Richardson, Ms. Kara Von Dresner, Mr. Raymond Knott, Mr. Ben Gregory, Ms. Kirsten Dewick, Mr. Norm Loudermilk. All right, students, I wish you the best of luck. At this time, I'm going to turn the program over to Randy Richard Lutz, our Director of Career and Technical Education for the Culpeper County Public School System, give you an overview of the morning.
Thank you, Roki. Good morning again, and welcome. I have the privilege of thanking some more folks on top of who Roki thanked. Of course, Dr. Brads, Mr. Hammond's back there in the corner. He's our Executive Director of Instruction for CCPS. Dr. Bopp and Dr. Soderholm, and Mr. Summerscales, who just had to run out for me. My son just had a car accident, so Dad, Sean Summerscales, went to him, and he is just fine. He's just fine, but if you're a prayer, you could say a little prayer for me. And then our school board members are here. We have some elected officials, of course, our coaches, the parents and the grandparents that are here. Thank you so much. We certainly can't do this without you, and we know about the long nights at home and all those extra snacks you've been buying. I've heard about it. Our teachers, Jason Rice, this guy right here, he is in charge of all of our scoring, all of our technology, and as I said to the judges this morning, if anything goes wrong, I always look to Jason, and you will never know if he's stressed because he's always calm as a cucumber. Our Career Partners Board, if any of our board members are here, and I know I see some of you, if you would wave, you know, each of these kids on the winning team gets $10,000. How amazing is that? And that can't be done with our Career Partners Board and our amazing community sponsors. Just tremendous. So we have two special guests today who are going to be very angry with me for doing this. But we would not have E squared with what I call our three-legged stool. And that three-legged stool 16 years ago was made up by myself and Mr. Chuck Jury and Mr. Mike Dale. And truly, we are here today because of those two gentlemen, and I would love if they would stand and if we could give them a warm round of applause. Two of the most amazing men you'll ever meet. Do we have any previous winners in the audience? Stand up, Bennett. Congrats. We've never done this before, and I'm really excited to introduce you to all 12 of our teams that were in the prelims. Our prelims judges told us during the prelims that they felt like they were at the finals. All 12 teams really worked hard that day, and you could have seen any of them today. So I'm going to ask you to stand, coached by David Shang and Bryce Hardy, if Rapid Relief would stand. Also coached by David Shang and Bryce Harding, Heart to Paw. Please stand. Coached by Margie Thomas and Karen Carroll, Virginia Uncovered. Also coached by those two lovely ladies, Roadside Guard. Coached by Amy Frazier and Winona Pritz, Athletics Now. Coached also by Amy and Winona, ARCA. Our Culpeper County High School teams, coached by Dan Carlton and Jason Ford, Slam It Security. Also coached by Dan and Jason, Food Check. Coached by Reagan Ketterer and Matt Curis, CPEP Shuttle. also coached by Reagan and Matt, Helmet Hero. Coached by Tad Loving and Josh Headley, Silly Sock. And those two gentlemen also coach Illuminate Alert. Students, we're so very proud of you. We're excited to see our 6 teams in action. Let me give you just a brief rundown. So the students will come in, each team will come in, they're able to set up, then they'll go back in the hallway and I will announce them. They will have 15 minutes to give their presentation. I will give them a 1-minute warning. They will then have 10 minutes of grueling questions from our judges. Nah, just kidding. In the judges meeting, I said not to be too hard on y'all today. You'll also get a 1-minute warning for that. This is really key. If I've been rambling too long and you're not listening, I need you to listen now. 60% of the score is the written plan, and these judges have already done that. Those were due to us earlier this week. So 60% of the scoring has already been done. 40% of the scoring is what you see here today. So just another reminder that your cell phones are off, and here's the moment the kids have been waiting for. I'm going to draw their order that we are going to present this morning. So who gets to go first? Slam It Security, you're up first. Then you get to watch everybody else go. Next is Silly Sock. Arca. Illuminate Alert. Helmet Hero. And last but not least, you know who you are, Food Check. So we're supposed to start at 8:30. I'm going to try and start at 8:35. We're also live streamed on Culpeper County Public Schools YouTube, so if you would like to text anyone and let them know that they can tune in there. We will stay on time as the morning goes because people will tune in online at certain times. All right, we're ready. Slam It Security, you're up. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud to introduce Slam It Security. Welcome, Slam It Security. As you know, you will have 15 minutes to present. I'll give you a 1-minute warning if necessary, and I'll start the timer when you begin.
Good morning. I invite you to imagine yourself, a loved one, or even your child, sitting in a classroom just like any normal day of the week, when all of a sudden, over the intercom, you hear,
Lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. Barricade your doors, hide. This is not a drill.
Fast forward, you're sitting in the corner, scared out of your mind. You have no idea what's going on and you don't know what to do. You're looking at the door. That door is the only thing that's protecting you from whoever is outside. And you're sitting there thinking to yourself, is that door secure? Is that door going to keep me safe long enough for help to arrive? I'm Elizabeth Staten, and I'm the CEO and CFO of Slam It Security. And I took E Squared because I wanted to have a positive impact on my community.
Good morning. I'm Griffin Tanner. I'm the Chief of Operations, and I took E Squared to know what it meant to start a business.
Good morning. My name is Aislinn Frazier. I'm the Chief of Marketing, and I'm a sophomore student athlete at CCHS.
Good morning. I'm Addison Beamer. I'm the Director of Sales in Salesforce. I'm a sophomore and play 3 sports here at CCHS.
The problem that we are addressing is the lack of door security in schools across the country. Classroom doors lack quick and effective barriers that can keep students and staff safe in unexpected emergencies, such as lockdowns or even active shooter situations. We are often forced to barricade the door with furniture inside of the classroom. These solutions are time-consuming, unreliable, and unrealistic. As you can see here in this photo, and this photo.
3 out of 4 members of our team have parents employed in public school systems. This makes us not only worry for our own safety, but also for our loved ones.
In my situation, both of my parents work in the school systems, but they are not just stationary at one school throughout the day. They move, so I never know where they are. This product will not only make me feel safer in my classroom, but will also help me know that my parents are safe wherever they go.
As a sophomore, I have personally experienced 5 lockdowns. This makes me not only understand the mental impact, but also the worry, panic, and anxiety that students have during lockdowns. This feeling led us to the creation and development of the Slam It security device.
Slam It is our steel latching mechanism that we've designed as a door barricade for school lockdown situations. Slam It is easy to use, easy to install, and is affordable, with the activation being simple, as Elizabeth pushes onto the door handle and deactivates by bringing back to a neutral position. Slam It is $65 and requires the use of no fine motor skills. It includes our installation kit.
Here's our installation guide. On our installation guide, it has the tools required as well as instructions. It also provides a visual to help you mount our product better to the door frame. Our product can withstand 200 pounds of lateral pressure similar to a deadbolt. In the product is just our prototype. Our prototype, once we get our final product, it will be sent in for final testing so we can get the numbers more accurate.
You might be wondering how we came up with the design you see today. When we first came up with the door barricade system, we wanted to start with more generic door stopper or door wedge that you see every day. After a conversation with Doug Robson, the head of facilities at Culpeper County, he said that putting something into the door or the floor could have safety issues, and he suggested that we move towards the top of the door. And that posed a new issue of end users not being able to activate our device. So we moved to the design you see today, a backwards F-shaped lock that works on both inward and outward swinging doors, and is drilled straight into the door frame rather than the door itself, keeping the fire rating intact. Marshall Warham, a technician at Prince William Fire and Rescue, said that our device will significantly increase the structural integrity of the door's lock.
We are asking for $800,000 for 15% of our company. You will receive a full return on your investment by year 5. We will use your investment to create and maintain an inventory so that we can help schools in need quickly and effectively. And we will also use your investment to hire our sales team consisting of retired first responders and retired school superintendents. We have even spoken with these personnel to find out the logistics of hiring them and in order to negotiate a salary. They not only support our product, but they also support our business.
As you may know, the Slam It device was originally designed for school systems, but we believe that our product is universal and can be used in other environments, such as hotels, colleges, healthcare facilities, and childcare facilities. When selling to school systems, we have segmented them into categories, such as small, which would be Culpeper, medium, which would be Prince William, and large, which would be Fairfax.
Going off of what Aislinn said, we have divided our market into 3 categories. Due to the nature of our product, we sell to school systems as a whole, not individual schools. Here is a visual of contracts that we would gain after selling to a school system of 7 schools, 20 schools, and 150 schools.
As a team, we decided it's important for us to manufacture in the U.S., using Source Metals and Marco Steel and Aluminum as our main manufacturers, both located in Texas. The manufacturing process for Slam It is simple, as our device can be produced in 3 parts from 1 sheet of metal, bringing our production cost to $15. For storing and shipping of Slam It, we will be using Texas Logistics and Fulfillment Services, and we've set aside 15% of our annual sales.
Here's our website. On our website, you can learn a little bit more background information about our company as well as see previous customer testimonies. You may also view and purchase our product in bulk for $65.
After speaking with Doug Robson, Director of Facilities at Culpeper County Public Schools, we were able to take an end user's preferences into consideration. This method of prototyping allowed us to create a product that is optimal for school security and it is what sets us apart from our competition. Now, you may be wondering to yourself, why wouldn't I just purchase a standard door latch from any hardware store? These latches are easily compromised and affect the fire rating of the door. We have found that it is important for our product to be simple to install, easy to activate, and affordable. And as you can see here, Slam It meets all of these requirements and many more. Many of our competitors require expensive and complicated installation, and they even require a specially trained team to come out to your school and install your product.
As Elizabeth said, all of our competitors require having somebody come out and look at your door to put something into the door or the floor itself, which could ruin the fire rating of the door, needing you to replace the door itself. We'll slam it straight into the door frame and goes right over the door handle.
Many schools in surrounding counties have even purchased products like these and been forced to remove them due to fire code violations. We have gone through the process of getting our product approved by a Virginia State Fire Marshal so that our customers do not go through this as well.
The Slam It device requires no fine motor skills, which is optimal in a time of panic or a high-stress situation.
Many of our competitors also require additional pieces to activate the device, meaning these pieces are mounted onto the wall and then during a lockdown, you remove them and apply them to the device. This is time-consuming and it requires those fine motor skills that Aislinn just mentioned.
The Slam It device is Fire Marshal approved, works on both inward and outward swinging doors. It's easy to install and even easier to engage, which all sets us apart from our competitors.
In a form of rapid response, we will be donating our product to schools affected by violence. By doing this, we aim to support the schools and make it feel like a safer environment for the kids to come back to.
As the Chief of Operations, I will be going with a trained crew to install Slam-Its into any school experiencing a traumatic event free of charge.
In year 3, 15% of our sales will be donated to organizations such as the Sandy Hook Promise and the Trauma Survivors Foundation, as we would like to advocate for the mental health impact that school violence has on students, staff, and families across the country. We have partnered with these organizations as they will assist us in our mission of rapid response. We will begin our marketing in year 1 by attending trade shows and school conventions, as this will help us build our name as well as grow relationships with potential customers. After consulting with our competitors, we have realized that one of their greatest weaknesses was ineffective marketing, and we have recognized this as an opportunity to have a very aggressive sales team. Our sales team will attend annual conventions such as the National Superintendent's Convention and the National School Board Convention, as this target audience has a great influence on the budgeting required by schools to purchase our product. When selling the school system, some schools require to be on a procurement list, and as Chief of Marketing, I will make sure that our company is registered on the vendors list in order to be eligible to sell.
As Director of Sales, I am the head of the sales team. But the sales team not only consists of me, but also retired first responders and superintendents. We will not only be attending conventions, but we will also be holding meetings as well as sending cold calls and emails. As you can see here, in year 1, we are going to be selling to 5 medium school districts in our region. Our sales team is not only located in Virginia, but all throughout the country. By doing this, we get customer feedback as well as grow our company as a whole.
As you can see, there is a significant sales increase between years 1 and years 2 and 3. This is due to budget cycles, which means that we will sell to the schools in year 1, but they will not purchase our product until years 2 and 3.
Continuing what Aislinn said, there is a delay in school budget plans. This is because they need to seek budget approval before they follow through with their purchase. This delay is represented in our financials as you see a significant increase in sales throughout our first 3 years of operation.
In year 4, we are going to be breaking through nationally. And in year 5, we are expanding our market to not just schools, but colleges, churches, hospitals, and child care facilities.
Throughout the development of Slam-It, we have talked to many first responders and safety professionals, with Chief Perryman of Culpeper County Volunteer Fire Department saying he's never seen a device like this before.
Now, I invite you back to the classroom, where you're still in the corner, scared out of your mind, we're still in a lockdown, you don't know what to do. You're looking at the door. Would you rather see a door like this or a door like this with a Slam-It? Slam-It is attainable for schools all over the country, no matter the circumstances. Slam-It is effective, and lastly, Slam-It saves lives. Thank you. We will now be open for questions.
We'll begin with Mr. Dalrymple.
Am I on? Good presentation, guys. In reading through the report you gave us, there was a shove knife device. Do you have that with you?
No, sir. We didn't want to disclose how we deactivate the device because of possible safety issues, but we have one, and we sell it with the device?
Yes, it works as kind of like a jimmy that you jimmy through the door frame, and it takes time and precision to use this. But after consulting with our competitors, all of the keys that they use to unlock their device, they don't disclose how it works because of those safety reasons.
Okay.
Thank you. Very good presentation. One of the things you mentioned is the ease of producing the product. How do you anticipate protecting your market share if it's so easy to produce it, since we won't get a return on investment for 5 years, and it may be easy for others to come in and replicate it? How do you plan on protecting that market share to ensure that we get the return on investment?
So we have applied for a utility patent and a design patent in order to protect our device, but in the event of somebody mimicking it or something like that, I mean, we don't want that to happen, but it is ultimately saving children and keeping our schools safe, so it's kind of a win-win, lose-lose situation.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all did an amazing job. You thought of so many angles, and you look so professional. And I loved reading the report that you gave us. So why do you think nobody's done this yet?
Well, that's a good question. It took us so long in order to come up with this type of product because in our school ourselves, we have doors that go in both directions.
Yep.
And we wanted to be able to come up with a product that worked on all of those doors. And since our school is so old, many of the doors have been grandfathered. And so with the newer schools that are being built, you have to push inwards. But with our school, they go in both directions. And so we wanted to come up with something that worked on all of those types of doors. And then the matter of nobody has really used the door handle yet, which is something that I don't think a lot of people have thought of when coming up with these types of devices, but every door has a door handle, and so we're the only product on the market that works on inward and outward swinging doors and uses the door handle in order to keep people safe.
And to add on to what Elizabeth said, a lot of our competitors require a drilling straight into the door.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you ruin the fire rating of the door itself, and you have to replace the door, and that's a lot of money. So we wanted to come up with something that we could use in every school around the country because there's no device like that yet.
And continue what he said, sorry. But after we sent out a survey to multiple schools around our area and to finding out that they've purchased something like this and been forced to remove them due to fire codes, it really wanted us to create something so that schools, when they purchase products like this and they spend the money on it, they don't have to remove it.
So you've given a lot of thought to who you're keeping out of the room. Are you concerned about who you're keeping in the room once this is locked?
Could you rephrase the question?
So an active shooter or a pedophile is in a kindergarten classroom and locks the door with all of the kids there. Have you given thought to who you're then locking in the classroom?
Well, we haven't considered something like that at the moment, but
Okay.
we have our shove knife devices, and so when they place an order, they communicate with us about how many devices would work for them, and if that's a matter of keeping them in every hallway or keeping them in with every administrator, so that way they can quickly get into the classroom and address that issue as it comes up.
Okay. I was on the board of the NRA and we did a school shield program and we went into schools and offered them all of these, just like you're talking about, and a lot of the school boards didn't want us coming in because they didn't want the liability of us saying, hey, you should do this, and then not being able to afford it. So I saw Boeing on your sponsor list. Go to Boeing and ask them to pay for this. Ask them to sponsor some schools so you can get beta testing done.
Yes, and there are numerous federal grants that schools can apply for in order to afford these types of products, such as FEMA. And just for a reference, our school, Culpeper County Public School System, received a grant of $50,000 this year for security alone. So there are tons of different ways to afford products like these.
Fantastic. Wonderful job.
Again, very good job. Echo what the other judges said about your performance and preparation. Question I have is more from looking at it as an investor in your plan. You had talked about that this is completely customizable. However, to capture savings, you have to have some standardization in your design and in your steel plates and the like to make sure you keep your costs down. So with what you have in your prototype is actually on a wood frame door, and most commercial buildings are steel frame. How are you going to control your cost while trying to be customizable so you can mass produce? Because that's how I'm going to get my improvement on my return.
So our product only costs $15 to make, but we picked a markup of $65, so that way we could account for that fluctuation in materials and everything like that, because we knew that the steel market fluctuates constantly. So that's why we decided that much of a markup.
Congratulations, you guys did a fantastic job. You talked a little bit about versatility of your product, and you used the swinging door both ways. What about compatibility? So all the pictures in your presentation were levered door handles. You have a doorknob here. I've also seen sliding doors as well. How does this product then transfer in those settings?
Our product, when installed in school systems, it works on the handle of the door, because although it's a different door handle from that one, the end piece on it is longer, so it goes down, and when the door is pushed from the outside, like trying to get in, the inside does not move, so it keeps the door barricaded from the inside, and it also is applicable on those kinds of doorknobs as well.
I want to congratulate you. I think the best ideas are simple, and this is elegant in its simplicity, and I mean that as a great compliment. I want to talk about and ask you to explore a little bit about your expansion plan. It looks from your material that it's essentially a straight east to west, a geographic expansion. What kind of analysis, if any, have you done on uptake and the desirability, either regions or school districts, that are more likely to be attuned to these issues and more likely to be markets for you? The second question I have, which is related, is around expansion to other retail markets like hospitality.
So we chose to hire our sales team regionally throughout the United States, so that way, because we wanted to expand from east to west, we could focus on targeting those different regions as we go. And so since we're spread out throughout the United States, it makes it easier to do that. And Addison is our director of our sales team, so she will be in constant connection with these members of our sales team in order to create that type of growth that we're expecting. And then when we're breaking into hospitals and stuff like that, that's by year 5. And so after going through and figuring out how to do school systems, we'll have a better idea of how to break into those hospital markets. But it's all a different kind of process.
I want to ask one follow-up question. You obviously understand the budgetary constraints of school systems, right, and the budget delay. Why not start with an industry that doesn't have those cyclical constraints?
We recognize this, but school systems is our passion and what we know best. So we noticed that this is a big problem around the country, is school violence. So this was our main focus, as getting this in the school systems in order to add another layer of safety.
Yeah, and as we are all students, school systems was what we were most passionate about because we experience it every day. As Aislinn mentioned, she's already experienced 5 lockdowns, and so it's really important for us to focus on school systems before we focus on other markets.
Norm, you have 1 minute.
Oh. Okay, I'll just say excellent job. And also just an observation that we as judges saw, several products like this in this year's group. And it's unfortunate that we're having to go through this kind of thing, but great idea. You answered all of my tough questions on how to break it in your presentation, like ruining the fire rating of the door. It was one of my questions. So I'll just say great job and good luck.
30 seconds if you want to get a quick one in.
All right, I have one. I did have a whole list of questions. How would this be adaptable to push bar doors? So that was one of the questions I had.
So at the moment, we don't have a product for push bar doors, but in year 5, we hope to create a product for that. And in lockdown situations, most students are going into a room that has a handle, such as a closet or something like that. Say, for instance, they're in the gym where the push bars are, they would be going into the locker room, and so our product would still be adaptable to those doors.
Thank you, Slam It Security. Great job. Good job, Madison. Next up will be Silly Sock at 9:05. Please welcome Silly Sock. Hey, did you make me one? Thanks, Riley. Thanks. You know I love gifts. As you know, gentlemen, you have 15 minutes to present. I will give you a 1-minute warning. I will start the timer when you begin.
My name is Bennett Sutherland, and I'm Chief Executive Officer.
My name's TJ Norman, and I'm Chief Operations Officer.
And my name is Riley Lentz, and I'm Chief Advertising Officer.
My name is Riley Vineyard. I'm the Chief Financials Officer.
And we are Silly Sock. In communal shower spaces, comfort and protection is a desire for almost anybody. But how can you be sure you're putting yourself in the best position possible to be protected inside these vulnerable environments? Currently on the market, there are two main types of wearable foot protection for consumers. You have your widely used shower slide, which is thin, slippery, and basically the bare minimum for foot protection. Your second option is more of your shower shoe, like your Croc or your Birkenstock. This option is unnatural, bulky, and let's be honest, why has it become normalized to wear shoes meant for outdoor use inside of your shower environment? Currently, these options are made of harmful materials that can be both harmful to you and the environment, such as mesh, foam, or cloth that does not stop water from freely flowing onto your foot.
As you can see here, here's an infographic showing the diseases that you can get by taking showers in your community setting. For example, MRSA. 14% of gym users actually transmit MRSA by taking showers at their local gyms. And did you know that 11,000 people die a year just from MRSA itself?
So, what is the solution? Introducing Silly Sock, the first ever silicone-based wearable foot protection designed for communal shower use. The Silly Sock is more comfortable, protective, and hygienic than your typical shower footwear. We've created Silly Sock because all four of us have had a bad experience inside of communal shower spaces. At Silly Sock, we have two missions in mind. Our first is to provide a superior and safer product for foot protection in communal shower spaces because we believe no matter who you are, you deserve to be protected. We also want to raise awareness to this overlooked issue of how people approach their communal shower spaces.
Our proposal, Silly Sock is asking for $375,000 in return for 30% of our company. We are projected 100% return by year 3 and over a 570% return by year 5.
Let's dive a little deeper into some of the features and benefits of the Silly Sock. The silicone is actually antimicrobial, meaning it is impossible for bacteria to grow in our product. It's also water resistant, keeping away all that bad water you don't want around your feet. We wanted to aim for a natural feel to make it feel as if though you were walking around your house in your own socks. And some important components is the open slit down the middle for easy on and off access. Next to that slit, we'll have 3 clips to close it. We'll also have small drainage holes on the side to release all that murky water. And we have a 1.2 millimeter rubber sole at the bottom for stability in the shower. And we'll have a small opening at the top of the heel to hang on our hangers for air drying. We have a 1-year lifespan for our product, which means an annual purchase rate.
And I want to take a second to point out one of the main components of the sock, which is the drainage holes. And you might be asking yourself, well, how does it let the water out but not back in? And that is because we have created a valve funnel system, which when you put the sock on after washing your foot, it forces the water out of like the open side of the hole, which is located on the inside of the sock. But on the outside, when the shower is in and all the water near your feet, it makes it almost impossible for the water to get back in through that pin needle sized hole.
Here's a quick how to use for the product. You want to put it on before entering the shower. And when you do want to wash your feet, you just use the clips to open the slit, slide your foot out, wash it real quick, put it back in. When you're done, get to a safe space, you can take it off and hang it on the hanger to air dry. I do want to point out, we We want it to feel like a sock comfortability-wise, but functionality-wise, it's going to work more like your normal shower footwear devices.
The pricing and cost of manufacture and materials for 1 unit of Silly Sock is $3.80. And may I remind you, shipping is included with the purchasing price that the customer pays.
And I also want to add another thing about the cyanoacrylate glue we use and why we use it. The reason why we use cyanoacrylate is because it is actually one of the only adhesives that can bond the silicone to some of our main components like our rubber sole and our plastic hook connectors. We will also have a retail price of $15.99, which will be sold directly through our website and Amazon. We will have a wholesale price of $7.99, which will be sold directly to universities and retail stores.
Looking at some market research that we have conducted as a group, we will be part of the hygiene industry that is set to $720 billion by 2030. We are very excited to infiltrate this forever growing industry. Some of our demographics that we've researched, as you can see, there are 3.85 million first-year college students across the United States. Looking at gym users, there's 64 million gym memberships across the United States. They garnish over 6 billion visits per year. And for truck drivers, there's 3.5 million nationwide, and 400,000 of those are long-haul truck drivers. We're targeting them in particular because they're more likely to use truck stops and communal showers on a regular basis. I want to point your attention to this infographic on the right side. This was a study done by Treadmill Reviews about gym health and gym hygiene. They surveyed 1,000 gym goers across the nation of all ages, and 24% of those gym goers said that they shower at the gym before leaving.
Why silicone? Silicone is an already commonly used item in the shower setting. As you can see right here, we have a loofah that has been proven to grow bacteria on it. And as you see in your shower caddies, it has been replaced by a silicone body scrubber. Silicone contains silver ions that hinder the proton pumps that bacteria needs to grow, which makes it impossible for bacteria to grow, which makes it antimicrobial. Silicone is one of the most recyclable materials out there, and it's easy to clean. All you need is hot water and soap.
I wanted to touch on what Riley just said about it's easy to clean. Contrary to other materials like mesh or foam that takes a whole load of laundry to clean efficiently, that takes time, that takes money. Most importantly, that impacts the environment. When our silicone, it's basically being cleaned as you're showering with the hot water and soap. And for many other uses, you see these silicone socks up in the top right-hand corner. These are actually used in spa settings for skin moisturization. So although they don't have the same shower use or components or protection as ours, it does show how silicone is already being used in our world today.
Here we have some testimonies we've received. The first one's from Christina Blyer. She says the Silly Socks could be useful for college students and she would be happy to learn about our product. She is the Vice President for Health and Wellbeing at JMU, so that shows that there is a real concern for college students and their shower safety. The next one's from Deputy Sidney Vanderwall. When I was in the military, the bathrooms were disgusting. Even if he wore the shower slides, his heel would still slip onto the floor. He's former military and the current resource officer at CTEC, so he knows firsthand how unsanitary these barracks actually are.
For our marketing and promotion, we will be using HRA Global as our marketing firm for our first 5 years. They specialize in anything from healthy food and drink options all the way to women's hygiene care, so we do look forward as they market for us on a national level. Initially, we're paying them $75,000 in year one to market mainly to these universities, and then that number jumps to $225,000 in year two as we explore the retail space.
We will market directly through social medias like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. The reason why we want to do this is because we believe as if first-year college students and gym goers would be more inclined to be on social media. We are also going to market directly to universities because we wanted to get to the point where universities just want to give the sock to their students and just keep them stocked in their bookstores, and this also helps them show a concern for their students' health. As been mentioned, in year two we'll use HRA Global to help market to places like Target, Walmart, Barnes & Nobles, and Dick's. And we will also market directly to individuals for their own personal usage, whether it's pools, campgrounds, travel, etc.
For expected demographics and users heading into year one, we said there were 3.85 million first-year college students across the United States, and we can accurately assume that 50% or 1.9 million students have to use a dorm shower on a regular basis. From this number, we expect 2% or 38,000 college student users during year one. Looking ahead at gym users, we have accurately calculated that 7.68 million gym goers across the United States shower at the gym on a regular basis. So from this number, we expect 0.25% or 19,200 gym shower users in year one. And for long-haul truck drivers, 400,000 nationwide, and we do expect 1% or 4,000 users in this demographic. Some future markets such as hospitals, campgrounds, etc. will market more heavily to these in the future because we believe the Silly Sock can be used for a wide variety of reasons for a wide variety of people. We wanted to quickly touch on our retail locations. This is starting in year 2 and will be a big part of our growth and numbers. We will be in some big box stores such as Walmart, Target, Dick's, and Barnes & Noble. You might be asking yourself, why Barnes & Noble? Well, it's actually one of the biggest bookstore retailers available on college campuses for college students. So as many of us know, many college students don't have access to a car during their first year of college. So if their university doesn't already provide the socks for them upon arrival, they can quickly go to their bookstore and improve their shower scenario. On the right side, you can see how we will distribute to these retail locations, and in year 2, across 487 locations nationwide, there will be over 70,000 pairs distributed.
Our projected sales for year 1, for retail we project to sell 23,200 units. This will be mainly to long-haul truck drivers and gym goers. For wholesale, we projected 38,000 units. This will be to universities. Our gross profit is $410,360. This is before legal fees and salaries. Our year 1 net profit is negative $68,540. This is after legal fees, patent costs, and I want to also remind you guys that we're paying HR and Global a large sum of money to get the growth we want. As Bennett said before, this is without year 2 retail sales, which we will think will be a big part of our income in year 2.
Here we have some of our competitors. You can see some common name brands like Crocs or Adidas. One of the main differences between us and our competitors is the price. We offer a much more price-friendly option for our consumers. Another difference I want to point out is the indoor and outdoor usage. Our competitors focus on outdoor usage as well as indoor usage, but at Silly Sock we want to only focus on that indoor usage to keep all the outdoor bacteria outside. Lastly, we are the only fully silicone-based shower footwear device on the market, so we're offering a revolutionary product. Like said earlier, at Silly Sock, we believe you should feel safe in your shower experience regardless of where you are or who you are. That's why we want to target 2 of the most vulnerable environments and give back to those who serve us daily. There are millions of people in prison and hundreds of thousands of soldiers in barracks who face unsanitary shower experiences every day. That's why at Silly Sock we want to donate 1 pair for every 10 pairs sold.
Silly Sock is proudly made in the USA. Silly Sock will be manufactured by Applied Replic Technologies, which will be our main silicone manufacturer. Applied Replic Technologies is located in Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is only 40 minutes away from our facility. And this is essential to us because this allows us to have more frequent quality control checks to keep a more efficient and productive business. At Applied Replic Technologies, they will receive all the components to assemble the sock, and there they will make the sock and then distribute it to places like universities, retail stores, and our company. And that is how we plan to reach our customers. And if needed, we can also use Rice Manufacturing, which is another silicone manufacturer located in Virginia. So if needed, we can use them as a backup.
To get the ensured growth we want, we will be listening to customers by having booths outside of universities and gyms to listen to feedback. We'll be improving the product, including the materials, introducing a travel bag, and considering additional sizing for youth.
With your support and your investment, we can offer a more comfortable solution to millions of public shower users nationwide. Are you ready to help us infiltrate a market that is ready for a better and a safer solution? Shower better with Silly Sock!
Thank you, Silly Sock. We will start with our 10 minutes of questions with Mr. Norm down there.
All right. Good job. A+ on the production value. I have to say, my first reaction when reading your business plan was, don't we know somebody at UVA? They need to clean their showers more often. Clearly, I had to put the business plan down, think about it, and then come back a minute later. I love product ideas that solve a real problem. And although this may not be a real problem that a lot of us think about every day, clearly it is. And you guys have laid that out really well in your presentation. I can easily see this being one of those viral things. I'm glad you mentioned marketing on social media. There are other sock companies like Double Soles, one that immediately comes to mind, that the company grew to what it is today solely because of the viral nature of the marketing that was done on social media. So great idea there. One quick question, I'll hand it over to the rest of the judges. Maybe 2 quick questions. One, the fact that bacteria can't grow on the material is great, but that doesn't mean that the material won't get dirty over time. And so my first question is are these machine washable? Can you just throw them in the washing machine?
You can throw it in the washing machine, but that also requires a whole load. I mean, you can throw it in with a load of laundry, but all it really requires is just hot water and some soap, and it will be brand new.
Okay. Then thank you. Second question, I always like to think about the practical use of things as these ideas are coming up. And so let me walk you through this. So you go in the shower, you take a shower, you get out. Now you've got these wet socks, right? And like you have a wet towel, you hang that towel to dry. Are you shipping these socks with like a little mesh bag or something that a user could hang the socks to dry as well? Because I envision now you're out of the shower, now you've got these wet silicone socks. What do you do with those? So that was my last question.
We have the little hanger and the opening on the back of the heel to hang up your socks on the hanger.
Oh, good.
Yeah, for air drying. Yeah.
And
I did want to add. Oh, sorry.
And when we are shipping these out, the hanger will be included with the sock. So you can put that somewhere so then when you're back to wherever your safe space, you can just hang the sock up and it can air dry.
Yes, and I did want to add one more thing about the mesh bag. As you said, we are looking to add a travel bag in the future. Again, we do want to, since we want to avoid mesh in our product, we're kind of looking at what the best way to transport these are. Because if we're not, our product's not made of mesh, why would we use a mesh bag? So we're definitely exploring that in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Nice job presenting. Actually, I have a follow-up question to that, which is there a valve in the front so that if it's hanging this way, is there water flowing out the front or is it pooling in the heel?
I mean, yeah, we talked about the 5 valves. We did want to have them all around where it's one in the front and maybe 2 on each side. I mean, we were still trying to explore to see what would the best way it would be. But yes, we were planning on having them all around the sock.
And I wanted to add on, our silicone manufacturer Applied Rapid Technologies lets us have up to 10 prototypes made before it gets to the consumer, so we can make sure everything's the quality of the material, all the drainage holes, so it works efficiently. So we will have much testing done prior to consumer.
So I guess I have 2 questions about the prototype. No, I'll keep it to one. How adaptable is it? Forgive me if I missed this in your proposal, but I'm less than 5'4", and my friend Ray over here is well over 6 feet tall. And silicone is not a weave the way that a sock might be. So what kind of adaptability do you have for sizing?
You want it or me? Okay. So our sizing will be like a regular sock sizing because silicone is very stretchable. So it will be mostly one size fits all, and we can explore other sizing options, like he said, for kids in the future or for maybe people with bigger feet. But it is very, it's multiple sizes for, one sock individual.
And I want to add on to what Benny was saying. When we do get our multiple, the molds, the different kinds we get, we do want to explore different sizes and all that just to see what overall is the most positive impact on people.
Another thing I want to add on is with the prototypes and how high it comes up your leg. We're also working on that too to find the most efficient way to size the whole product as a whole.
Great job, you guys. You spent quite a bit of time and clearly had some research around a target market, right? Kind of where you wanted to go year 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Curious if at any point you considered healthcare as a potential target market as well. Your product, you mentioned rubber sole safety, things along those lines, but more hospitals, skilled nursing rehab, things along those lines too.
Yes, we definitely have thought about that, and there is a big unsought market that we have not technically calculated the numbers for yet, because we do believe it can be used on a wide array of environments. I think we chose these demographics individually because it's just what impacts us individually, because me and TJ are actually going to college next year. I've had an experience at UVA. He's had an experience at VCU with a public shower. So I think these are what spoke to us, the environment. So that's the main reason we chose these in particular.
Right, thank you.
Gentlemen, good job. And Norm, I'll just let you know my sophomore women, Mary, says that the showers there haven't been cleaned since 1683 when it was founded. So I think the demographic selection is probably very good. Couple of questions for you from your plan, and one question from your plan, but first a question and follow up to one of your responses. When you were talking about hanging the sock up, and having the hanger included in your packaging, I didn't see in your plan that was included in your cost of goods sold. So is that embedded into your production cost? I didn't see it on, I don't know if it was on the slide, but I don't.
Oh, sorry.
30 cents? Okay, I just want to make sure I was just. Great, gotcha. Okay, thank you. So I just wanted to clarify that from that standpoint. One thing I noticed in reading your business plan, and you highlighted the glue that you're using on that, which you've got that glue plus some other components that are coming from overseas. However, it looks like from your plan that and what your presentation, you said that Applied Rapid Technologies is going to purchase all of the material and then assemble it. When you have potential variability with foreign exchange cost and risk associated with the pricing points of those materials, as well as potential tariffs or blocking of materials coming from China, which is where they're coming from, how are you adapting for that into your potential return numbers?
Yeah, the reason why we did pick cyanoacrylate is because it was a lot more cost effective than a lot of others, but if needed, we did have backups that are located in America. So, yeah.
And I know we do have stuff coming from overseas, but 90% of our product is made at our silicone manufacturer. We do have obviously a couple components coming from overseas, but most of it is silicone, and we have researched the commodity codes that, entail going from overseas.
Okay, and it's just sort of a follow-up, and you notated, you've got domestic alternatives for some of the components that you're purchasing overseas. Did you investigate the potential cost changes in some of those alternatives?
We did forecast a manufacturing price raise in our financial plan. I think starting in year 2 or 3, I think that's the cost of goods went up just because of inflation and also the possible if our manufacturer raises the price, but we did factor those, yes.
We have
Gentlemen.
1 minute. 1 minute.
You did such a great job. Love your energy, love the product. I have a question, but I have to explain retail math to you. So in order to take a product to market, your cost needs to be 1/10 of the MSRP, and yours is about like 25%. So if I'm a small business, you're asking me to single key. So you are going to sell it to me at $8, and you want me to sell it at $16. So there's a 50%, right? You've got to add in, it's going to take me 10 to 20% to get it to me if I'm in California, 3% commission, the cost of getting it out of the box, stamping it, putting it into the computer system, merchandising it. If you're selling to people who are going to single key, they're going to go out of business, and you don't want to work with them. So larger manufacturers, they will normally sell a third. So I would have, if I bought it from you from 8, I would have to sell it at 24. Walmart is going to want a much bigger spread. So you have the choice of either getting this made cheaper or doing a totally different business model and taking out the retailers.
That's time.
Okay.
We're out of time.
Okay.
Thank you, Silly Sock.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job, Riley. Awesome. Proud of you. Thank you. Our next team will be ARCA at 9:40, so we have a 10-minute break. Please welcome ARCA.
Feel free to look into them.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, ARCA. As you know, you will have 15 minutes to present. I'll give you a 1-minute warning if necessary. Morgan, when you start, I will hit the start button myself.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Good morning and welcome to today's presentation on enhancing efficiency and convenience for young adults. As we all know, college life is a whirlwind of activity filled with academic pursuit, extracurricular engagement, and the quest for personal growth. Amidst this hustle and bustle, we have recognized that college students need direction when shopping for home essentials. The name ARCA stands for box in Latin. Latin is an ancient language that was the root for numerous modern languages. We found this name fitting due to our international roots as a team. Introducing Bella, our CFO from Brazil.
Bom dia.
Emma, our CMO from Italy.
Buongiorno.
Bold, our CIO from Mongolia. Samit, our COO from Palestine. And I'm Morgan, our CEO from Culpeper. Howdy. We are asking for $250,000 in exchange for 15% equity in our company. Investors can expect a full return on investment by year 3 and profit in following years. College students face multiple challenges, including time management, living away from home for the first time, and managing different time. Recognizing these challenges firsthand, we have embarked on a mission to revolutionize the way that college students approach personal care and their own well-being. We offer 2 convenient subscription options, the first being the Pura box for toiletries, and the second being the Terza box for cleaning supplies. We also offer a one-off excess box for extra products in case someone runs out of product. Pura stands for pure, and Terza stands for clean in Latin, tying back to our name ARCA. And now, Bold with our market research and competition.
Thank you. Our subscription box is designed to provide peace of mind for students and their parents, allowing them to focus on their studies, careers, and personal lives without worrying about household essentials. Additionally, our commitment to affordability and convenience makes it an ideal choice for budget-conscious consumers seeking convenient solution for what they need. In the market of cleaning goods, we compete with big players like Amazon, Costco, Walmart, and Grue. While each competitor brings unique strength to the market, ARCA differentiates itself in several ways. Firstly, our price sets us apart. ARCA offers more affordable options compared to major retailers, making household essentials accessible to a more broader range of audience. Secondly, ARCA subscription box caters to consumers who don't know which products to choose, providing them with complexity, efficiency, and simplicity. Lastly, as a smaller company, ARCA offers more efficient and personalized customer service. All these features sets ARCA apart in the market and increases the overall experience for our customers. Now Emma will introduce you guys to our marketing plan.
Our marketing strategies are made up of 5 key components to ensure brand visibility and to build trust with potential customers. First, we will be introducing ARCA at college moving days to both parents and their students. They will be allowed to interact with the products, and they will be provided with promotional and informational postcards. For those who subscribe to ARCA on the spot, we will be providing canvas bags like you can see in front of you, and they will be our thank you gift for them. We will start locally by visiting 10 colleges in year 1, but we plan to expand to surrounding states and reach 35 colleges by year 5. We will then be identifying brand ambassadors among college students and more specifically athletes. They will be provided with both the Terza and the Pura box to review and share about on social media. This will allow us to connect with other students and build trust. Now meet Brett. He is a rising senior at Eastern View High School and a Virginia Tech football recruit, and is an example of ambassadorship.
Hey, that's my ARCA package. ARCA is one service I can rely on every month to give me my home essentials. Every month, ARCA delivers me cleaning and toiletry products. Coupons for your favorite restaurants like Chick-fil-A, Glory Days, and anything else you can think of. Toothpaste, toothbrush, cotton swabs, trash bags, hand soap, hand sanitizer, and a bunch of toilet paper. They also put in here dental floss and even a portable charger. As a future college athlete for Virginia Tech, I know my schedule gets very busy with practices, lectures, classes, anything you can imagine. So I decided to save time and money to shop with ARCA, as you should too.
More efforts will be made on social media by managing our official ARCA accounts, sharing pictures, videos, and advertisements on a daily basis. We chose to operate on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X. These are the most subscribed to networking services and are also what's more suitable for all of our potential customers. As we recognize our young target market might not necessarily be the one purchasing the box, but it could be their parents instead, we decided to reach out to them too, in person at moving days and online through Facebook. We will then be sending out informational and promotional emails containing surveys, tips, recipes, and promos in an effort to keep our brand and value always on top of mind. Because our target market of college students is more likely to consider a brand that is associated with their favorite sports leagues, we decided to sponsor college teams through Playfly, which is a sports media, marketing, and technology business. This will allow us to advertise ARCA at halftimes, on jerseys, and on other merchandise, as well as entertain our potential customers with events such as toilet paper toss, inspired by t-shirt cannons at sports games.
Who wants some toilet paper?
He's got more.
More connections were made, this time in an effort to bring the best experience possible to our customers. We decided to make our boxes always fun and unique by partnering with other companies, which you can see behind me. They provided us with promotional items and discount coupons exclusive to our subscribers, who will receive them on a monthly basis with their packages. You can see examples of these coupons in your Canva bags. And now to Summit with operations.
In the early development of our company, we had the opportunity to speak with Merchants Grocery CEO, Chris Smithers. He allowed us to tour his facility and ask urgent questions about the industry, like why we should lease instead of buy our warehouse, how much products we should keep on hand, and he gave us reliable suppliers for all of our products. We'll be located at 6418 Old Mead Road in Warrenton, Virginia. We chose this location not only because of ample warehouse space, but also because of a built-in office. It also gives us direct access to Route 29, so we can reach colleges all across DC, Maryland, and Virginia. To allow for expansion in year 3, we'll be adding an additional 3,500 square feet to our warehouse. And now to Bella with financials.
When considering projected market share, we have meticulously deliberated in our strategy. In our initial year, we anticipate capturing 10% of college students from the 10 schools we identified to visit in Virginia, Maryland, and DC. In year 2, as we increase marketing throughout the area and build brand awareness, we can expect 1% of all college students from the DMV region. Year 3 will be a pivotal year for our company as we tap into the vast market of college students in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and West Virginia. By projecting to attract 1% of this market alongside 2% from Region 1, our growth will be exponential, returning more than 100% of investment. In year 4, we will reach Tennessee and Kentucky, projecting to attract 1% of this market in addition to 2% from Region 2 and 3% from Region 1. In year 5, we will reach Delaware and New Jersey, projecting to attract 1% of this market, 2, 3, and 4% from the previous regions. In year 6, we will provide a product nationwide. Based on our market research, there's a significantly higher demand for toiletry items than cleaning, being able to predict that 70% of our sales will come from the Pura box and 30% from the Terza box. Since the Access box is not our primary source of income, we've calculated that 30% of our customers would be interested in adding this product to their monthly subscription at any point in time. When estimating our sales, it is crucial to consider the varying timelines of potential customers. With the clear understanding that our sales will not remain constant throughout the year, we predict a quarter of our sales beginning at month 3, half at 6 months, and another quarter at the 9-month mark. With this formula, we've accounted for a 3-month margin in which our customers might want to freeze their subscription. We've calculated all our orders based on this formula, projecting 36,000 orders for the Pura box, 15,000 orders for the Terza box, and more than 5,000 orders for the Access in just our initial year. As we increase marketing throughout the area and build brand recognition, we can expect 450,000 orders for the Pura box, 192,000 orders for the Terza box, and 163 for the Access. For year 1, we have 12 different partnerships with different companies and 1 hospital. As we increase marketing throughout the new regions, we can expect more than 60 different partnerships with different companies, which will give us an extra $85,000 in revenue. As an effort to give back to the community, we've committed to redirect 3% of our gross profit to provide scholarships to college students. This financial support will be allocated to universities who will then select deserving recipients based on the criteria we have established. Based on our market research, the subscription box market has grown significantly over the years and is expected to continue to rise. One of the reasons for its growth is the convenience of receiving carefully curated items at your own doorstep, its affordability, and the excitement the customer gets by opening a surprise box each month. This benefits our company, making us able to have a recurring profit and a predictable revenue. Judges, you have had the opportunity to be part of this company at its beginning. For only $250,000, you will receive more than 100% of an investment in year 3.
So, help us help college students revolutionize the way that they approach personal health and household cleanliness. Help us make college life a little bit easier and a whole lot more fulfilling. All you need is ARCA! Thank you, and we are now accepting any questions.
Thank you, ARCA. We'll begin with Mr. Dalrymple.
Good presentation, guys. You need an air cannon next to throw your products out, and you'll be all set. In your cost analysis, you had a slight increase in the materials each year, but you had no increase in labor over your 5-year period. How did you?
I can answer that question. So we do have an increase in labor. We have 5 more employees at year 3, another additional 5 in year 4, an additional 10 in year 5, which will totalize in year 5, 20 employees. And we have different salaries for them according to how long they've been working with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great job. So how do you account for and respond to consumer preferences and consumer needs? I'm looking at these items there, and suppose I didn't like Crest, I didn't like Reach, or I didn't like that particular type of toilet paper. And secondly, consumer need in that I'm a student in a dormitory, and unless things have changed from 50 years ago, they provided toilet paper. So I wouldn't need toilet paper if I'm living in a dorm.
So the differentiator for ARCA is that we provide all the items in a one box, a one-click shop, basically. For college students who don't know what products that they should be getting, what prices are normal, what companies are good, anything like that, college students have no idea when they first get there. So the benefit of ARCA is that we compile everything into a reliable, convenient, and efficient box that will show up every month, and you know when it's going to come each month. So that is the differentiator for us for market needs. And then for demand, that's why we included the excess box. So in case you are running out of products, then you always have the ability to order the excess box, which will basically restock you.
But I can't customize my box.
No.
So I have a similar question. A lot of your marketing is based on the fact that this is going to come to the student and they're not going to have to go out, they're going to have more time to study, more time for sports, but all of the products you need aren't in this box. So if I want shampoo, I still have to go to CVS or Walmart. How are you going to overcome that in your marketing?
So we found in our market research that shampoo and other highly customizable items, most people have their preferences already for shower-like products. We found that these items are more interchangeable between companies and brand names. We found that people will use toilet paper no matter what when they need it. I mean, it is natural.
Sure, but if they're already going to Walmart or whatever, why wouldn't they then buy the Colgate toothpaste they like instead of Crest?
Because they don't know the price difference. They don't know what really the company is. The benefit of our product is that we compile it. You don't even have to think about other companies.
Great job on your presentation. And again, as a father of a college student, this is something that she wished she would have. My question is really around your competitive analysis. You focused on Amazon, some of the retailers that do delivery, but you didn't really give any consideration to Instacart, Uber Eats, some of those where you can do with no subscription, the orders remotely. The parent could do an order and be very customizable underneath that component with Instacart and Uber Eats and some of the other non-subscription services. So how are you planning to compete against those non-subscription services such as those which can be done online?
Oh yeah, this is actually one of our advantages, that we have a subscription system that renews every month, every year, that you can choose from. So non-subscription companies have a variety of products, as I mentioned. So they don't know which products to choose. When you go to their website, there's plenty of products, plenty of niche, plenty of categories. We don't have that. We only have 3 boxes which you can choose from. You can read the description. And our subscription system makes it more convenient for them to use, that they don't need to mind anything at all. I hope that answers your question.
You guys did a great job. At the risk of sounding repetitive from the folks to my right here, I have a question in a similar vein. So, you have a subscription-based service that renews monthly. Some of the products that I see before me aren't going to need monthly refills. This is not an a la carte subscription-based service. So I'm just curious around your thought process, why you chose more of a curated approach specific to a set list of items versus making it more a la carte and letting people actually select what they need.
So we based our decision on what to put in the boxes and in what amount, all on our primary research and our secondary research as well. So our products are not monthly. Most of them are bi-monthly. They come every 2 months. Only those who we recognize run out more easily are what is included with every box every month. So you're not getting the same products each month.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Great job integrating everybody in presenting and engaging the audience. So I have a potentially personal question. One of the things about having more women in venture capital is you start to see an identification with things that women buy. What I would like to know is, what thought have you given to female customers for whom there is a very regular, standard, monthly need that is both personal and predictable? I think you know what I'm talking about. I don't see it reflected in these products. What thought have you given to the range of consumer needs of your would-be customers?
So we have absolutely considered it in the very beginning of our thought process, but we decided it was not possible as of right now. So we plan to look into it definitely when we will have more budget and more resources in our year 6.
Thank you.
All right, great job. Randy, how much time do I have?
2 minutes and 45 seconds.
The questions that I had have already been asked by this distinguished panel of judges. So I'm just going to give you a thought that I have been generating during your presentation. Given the target demographic of your product, selling to college students, people that don't know, what to buy and how often to buy it, my guess is these subscriptions would mostly be paid for by parents. And as a parent, I'm thinking that you may run into a situation where parents are like, no, this is a critical part of becoming an adult, is learning what to buy and when to buy and where to buy it and how much it costs. And so I'm not paying for that. Let them run out of toothpaste or toilet paper and figure it out themselves. I am not that, mean of a parent, but I'm thinking that this could happen. And so I'll just ask generically, have you thought about this? Have you thought about addressing that in your marketing and so on?
So absolutely, we have thought about that. But our answer is that it makes your life so much easier for the first couple years of college at least, that it's a no-brainer to go with ARCA. Every month, you get it in the mail on the same day. You know when it's coming. You know that your kid is going to have the product when otherwise, who knows? Who knows what they're doing? I mean, and really,
You have 1 minute.
you want your kids to focus on their academics while they're at college, and this provides them with that opportunity to focus solely on what matters in college instead of, oh, I have one roll of toilet paper. I'm going to have to stop studying for this test, walk probably to the store, and somehow scramble together money to get toilet paper.
We want to ensure parents are just as aware of their kids being safe, being clean, being satisfied, and we want all parents to know they are in our hands and we will take care of them.
Thank you, ARCA.
Thank you.
Our next team will be Illuminate Alert at 10:15. Please welcome Illuminate Alert.
Quinn Fraser, nice to meet you. 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 Quinn Fraser, nice to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, you have 15 minutes to present. I'll give you a 1-minute warning if necessary, and you may begin when ready.
Hello, we are Illuminate Alert, who puts safety first, safety always. My name is Quinn Fraser, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer, and this is our team.
My name is Sean Rooney, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
I'm Noah Capisi, and I'm the Chief Technology Officer.
I'm Riley Harrop, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer.
I'm Melanie Almas, and I'm the Operational Officer. To begin, here we have a video showcasing an incident that occurred at Culpeper County High School, which we were all present for and unaware of the situation for more than half of the day.
Welcome back. It's back to normal after an hours-long stay-in-place order yesterday at a Virginia high school. This is because they found a box of ammunition at Culpeper High School. Lily Zhang live in Culpeper right now with the latest. Lily?
Well, Jim, a parent tells us they were told more law enforcement would be here on campus today out of precaution. That stay-in-place order only applied to the high school that's right behind us, though we are told that the middle school and another school here on campus, they were told to stay indoors.
And I think a lot of kids were listening to the scanner, as was I. So I was hearing a lot of information. And I just kept saying, the spot's there, the state police is there, the sheriffs are there.
Jessica Cranfield's daughter is a student at the middle school on campus. They were one of the 2 schools instructed to stay indoors. The high school next door is where that box of ammunition was found. According to district officials, a staff member was checking on the restrooms around 10:30 yesterday morning, as he does every day. We are told he noticed a dislodged ceiling tile. When he looked into the ceiling, that is where he found the box. A canine sweep was done on the entire building. Cranfield says she received a text just before 12:30.
The rumors had already been flying that there was 2 guns found and, just all these things. And I'm like, if they would have just sent something out in the very beginning and been transparent, it would have just nipped a lot of things in the bud, because still, even now, rumors are just flying all over.
And to be clear, we are told no other dangerous objects were found. When asked, the district says high school parents were first alerted at 10:43. It is unclear when the middle school parents were alerted. The school does warn, however, on their website that when there is an emergency situation, rumors and perhaps exaggerations may run rampant. They do advise people to go ahead and sign up for the county's 911 alerts. We'll send it back to you.
We understand that schools can only let the public know so much during the lockdown and that they like to keep confidentiality. This is why we will be focusing on the interior communication to ensure that students and staff are all on the same page.
Now, our objectives. Some of our objectives, which we consider to be our mission, are number 1, to facilitate communication, number 2, to provide a sense of safety and security, and number 3, which I emphasize, to save lives. These are some of our ongoing issues. Number 1, inaccurate and non-efficient communication. Over 74% of schools in the United States use a PA system. Authorized personnel uses intercoms to make announcements and announce emergency procedures. Not only ourselves as students, but through a survey we conducted on high school students, it proved that the intercoms were hard to hear, not clear, didn't provide enough information, and could be easily misinterpreted. Number 2, no instant communication with law enforcement or medical aid. Oftentimes, the school resource officer is the only one responsible for contacting dispatch. But with the Illuminate Alert app, multiple authorized personnel will be able to control the LED light, therefore simultaneously contacting dispatch and distributing the responsibility. And number 3, a lack of information within the classrooms. Beginning with faulty and outdated PA systems, information is not accurately delivered. Due to this, students rely on rumors and outside parties for information.
We are seeking a $600,000 investment in Illuminate Alert for 20% stake in our business. To the left of the screen, you can see the return on investment chart and where we plan to have a 327 return by the end of year 5.
Introducing Illuminate Alert, an LED light system designed to make schools a safe and efficient learning environment. Illuminate Alert will be found above every classroom door to effectively communicate the ongoing situation. Our light system will be controlled through our Illuminate Alert app, which provides authorized users the ability to control our light system for any given scenario. We will be using asymmetric encryption to stop any unauthorized users from controlling our light system. Teachers will have the ability to contact administration through our app for any safety concerns they may have, as well as first responders and dispatch can be contacted if the situation escalates to that level.
So, how does it work? The whole system is simple and easily turned on through our app. Once activated by an administrator, the app sends a wireless signal to the LED playback processor. The processor, which has a load capacity of 3.9 million pixels, wirelessly communicates through Wi-Fi to every light in the school, which turns them on.
This is our Illuminate Alert example key. It will be placed in all classrooms to explain the image that shows up on our light, as you're about to see. It will be fully customizable based on the school's needs, as well as being placed alongside every single light.
Our product is a square, 1-foot wide LED panel encased in a frame. It contains 6,400 pixels and can display any symbol in any color. A battery is attached to the back for an uninterrupted power supply in the event of a power outage. Our product also has a life expectancy of a whopping 25 years.
We at Illuminate Alert conducted a survey and asked students at Culpeper County High School about the lockdown earlier this year. We asked them 3 critical questions, the first of which was, how were you informed about the situation? 66% of our students were informed by rumor. The next question we asked them was if they ever had trouble hearing the intercom. 80% of our students had trouble listening. And the last but most important question is, did they feel safe during the lockdown? 46% of our students did not feel safe. I can attest to this because as a student who was present during the lockdown, there was rumors circulating, I was unsure about the situation, and I was fearing for my safety. We believe that our light can be the solution to these problems because of its clear and concise way to display information with the click of a single button. We'll be putting 10% of our sales yearly into our marketing budget. In year one, this would be $61,000. I, the Chief Marketing Officer, will be leading a small team of sales representatives. We would first market to school boards to, we would first market to school boards to get in front of our target market as early as possible. Our sales representatives would stay in close contact with their technology department to help them with any faults they have in that area. We will also attend different conferences such as school safety, technology, and first responder. What we were hoping to gain from attending these is to get any feedback on our product to help it in any way we can, but mainly to get it in the public eye and get it noticed by all.
We at Illuminate Alert plan to capture 0.5% of our total target market. Year 1 starting locally in Virginia, Year 2 expanding to Maryland and West Virginia, Year 3 reaching the East Coast, Year 4 expanding to the Midwest, and Year 5 reaching the entire country, going nationwide.
As you can see above, our sales projections show promising growth in the first 5 years. In year 1, our main focus will be on selling 20 packages in order to make a profit of $281,000. In year 3, we will aim to sell 59 packages in order to make a profit of $1.7 million. You will also see a significant profit increase in year 3 due to us switching our manufacturing to Nortec and continuously increasing our marketing budget. However, the most significant increase you will see will be from year 4 to year 5, where we aim to sell 573 packages in year 5 to make a profit of $9.3 million. We offer package sizes for 3 different school sizes, each included with a $2,000 playback processor. Replacements start at $239, and as the volume increases, it comes with a 10% price discount. If your school happens to need more than 225 lights, we plan to give you a customized quote to fit your school.
Let's take a look at some of Illuminate Alert's competition. Our company faces 3 major competitors that offer products most similar to ours, such as threat level indicators and color changing lights. However, our competitors' lights are weak, only display a singular color, and are meant to replace regular light bulbs and lamps. Our lights, on the other hand, contain powerful LEDs with a great resolution and are visible across classrooms. Whilst our competitors sell various alert systems that notify people of certain emergencies, our system displays symbols and codes for every emergency.
Manufacturing. We will personally be manufacturing and assembling our LED lights at our warehouse alongside our programmers. But our objective for year 3 is to collaborate with Nortec Systems for programming and all technological aspects. We will continue to look to further develop our LED light and make it more efficient, always keeping in mind that Illuminate Alert puts safety first and safety always.
If you would please turn your attention to our CTO as he will give a demonstration of our prototype. We at Illuminate Alert have partnered closely with professional Linux programmers to help develop and program our prototype. Programmed through C++ programming and executed through Raspberry Pi, we've successfully made a prototype. Thank you, and we are open to any questions you may have.
Go ahead when ready.
All right. Great job, everybody. I'll start off by saying that I think there are, this is one of the top priorities that our society faces today, dealing with these issues. So thank you for being thoughtful about ways to deal with these kind of crises. And I think technology product ideas are my jam, so I'm glad I get to go first. The first thing that I wanted to say is good work on building encryption into your communication path, because swatting is such a big problem these days. People, falsely calling in the police for things like this, and this product would be ripe for attack without that. So good job there. My question that I'd like you to think about is, I see that you have used battery power to back up the device itself in the case of a power outage, and that's great. But remember that the app on the phones communicates via Wi-Fi to the controller, which communicates via Wi-Fi to the display device, and your battery backup does not keep the Wi-Fi network going. So my question is, have you thought about ways to ensure that there's no massive denial of service opportunity here just by turning the power off?
Yes, sir. So at least at our school, the Wi-Fi is also connected to an uninterrupted power supply, such as the generators. So if the power went down, the Wi-Fi would still continue to work, ideally. And if the lights have already been turned on and the Wi-Fi is down, they wouldn't be able to be changed, but they would remain on.
I have in some ways a related question to that. Your presentation has focused a lot on the product itself and the marketing of the product itself. Tell us a little bit more about your budget assumptions about troubleshooting, tech support, and back of the house. It only works if it works, and it only works if your clients, have reliable backup to use it.
So our sales representatives will be going to schools to help them with their technology problems or explain to them how our system works and how to set it up, as we won't be doing the installation. But our programmer and our tech advisors on hand will be helping us with the product and programming everything.
And after the point of purchase, what kind of support would be available?
There will be a 1-year warranty after the time of purchase and installation, and then any technical difficulties, we will keep in contact with them in case they need help getting it back up.
Go work, you guys. You did a great job. I want to jump to your financials for a second from the business plan, from what I recall. As I was going through your line items, there were a few things that caught my eye. One in particular was, I believe it was projected out in year 4 or 5. You were anticipating several $1,000s in patent prosecution and issue fees. I just wanted to understand what exactly those were, how those are defined.
So the patent prosecution fees we contacted a lawyer, and they gave us a rate for each year and how it would go up, and then we did that and times it by 1.5 in case for any emergency funds.
So one of our advisors was a lawyer, and we got those numbers from him.
Good presentation, everyone. My big question sort of goes to the financials as well. You notate in your plan and in your financials that you're going to self-manufacture for year 1 and 2. Essentially, I think the notation was that you as the owners of the company would be manufacturing things yourselves. Looking at those numbers and looking at potential time to manufacture and put together, very concerned about the time commitment as well as the cost associated with doing that and being able to meet demand. How have you tested that, or has your thought process of saying that you could handle self-manufacturing the number of units you're looking to sell between 5 people?
Yes, sir. We will have 1 programmer on hand in our warehouse, as well as us 5 working on assembling and developing our product. And getting paid the minimum wage salary with commission will help us work 40-hour weeks every week to help install and develop our products.
So in the business proposal, which nobody else saw, we got a copy of, there was a mock-up of your actual product, and it had, I believe, 6 lights, right? There was a tornado and 2 other things in red, yellow, green. How did you come up with those?
That was just an example key that we made. The keys are completely customizable based on the school's needs. That was just an example that could be placed in a school, but it's not an actual set in stone key. Just an example, ma'am.
Okay, that's a great answer. And before you put this out on the market, are you planning on beta testing it so you can tell your customers that it does work?
What do you, excuse me, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
So would you install these in one school and have a mock issue and see how the students actually reacted and then get their feedback?
Well, it would really depend on the schools, how they do, how they do their security measures and their practices for that. So they could have drills and they could test it and while school was going on, but
But at that point, they've already bought it.
Right. We will definitely look into that. Thank you so much for that input.
Thank you. Great job. I was concerned with one of the numbers in your budget, and for rent for a 15,000 square foot facility was $6,000 a year, which is about $500 a month, and it didn't rise much, but there was no explanation as to how you could have find a building that only charges that much. I forgot the per square foot. Yes. And another question after that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Our teacher, Miss Lane, has a wonderful husband that has helped us with his warehouse and gave us numbers on what that would cost us.
Great job. I need to meet them. And secondly, you seem to have a uniform approach to all of the schools' utilization of the tool, but what my 4-year-old pre-K grandchild needs to know versus what a high school student needs to know are totally different in terms of what's exposed. I mean, do you differentiate the utilization of this where teachers might have the information for one segment versus a high school student who's more mature enough to?
Yes, sir. Our lights are fully customizable to fit any school and any need that they may have, so they get to fully design what displays on what light, as well as the keys and their safety procedures that they have at their school that may be different from others.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
May I add on to that? Our light is also universal, so it can vary from high schools, elementaries, to malls, anything that's public oriented.
On your last year, you've increased your sales to $19 million from $8 million the year before. What's your thought on how you're going to increase that fast in 1 year?
Yes, sir. When we expand nationwide in year 5, our marketing cost skyrockets a great margin. We take 10% of our sales into our marketing budget, which will total to $1.7 million our 5th year, which helps us market to many more schools.
Can you develop that many units in a single year?
Yes, sir. That's when year 3 we switch over to Nortec systems to help manufacture our product, which will help sell in bulk and get out more units.
We still have a minute and a half.
And of course, Norm has more questions. Yes. I've done a lot of work with security escalation procedures in schools and other types of facilities that could use this. And one thing that concerned me when I read your business plan, I'm wondering if you've thought of, you said that multiple people could run the app and control what's shown on these screens. Have you thought much about the training that you would give these users for escalation procedures to avoid someone from saying, go into lockdown, and another person saying, no, it's a tornado, and another person saying, no, there's really no threat? I was wondering about the conflicting control inputs that might be given.
Yes, sir. Our app has a 2-step identification process, and the schools get to choose the authorized users that control the app. So that part is out of our hands and up to the school, and they get to decide the training and the procedures that they need to take to be able to control our app.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
One more. You silenced the judges. Congratulations. Job well done.
Thank you.
Next up is Helmet Hero at 10:50. They did great. That was great. Please welcome Helmet Hero. Good morning. As you know, you'll have 15 minutes to present. I'll give you a 1-minute warning if needed, and I'll start the timer when you begin.
Good morning, judges, and thank you for being here with us today. My name is Alexa, and we are Helmet Hero. Helmet Hero is a device that detects impact strong enough to lead to a concussion, alerting others around you and allowing you to come off the field to prevent long-term brain damage. Our product is a no-brainer. Now meet us. As I said, I'm Alexa, the Chief Executive Officer.
I'm Susie, our Chief Operations Officer.
I'm Johnny, our Chief Financial Officer.
And I'm Nicholas, our Marketing and Design Officer. Every year, around 300,000 concussions occur in football alone. 6% of these require immediate medical attention, but 50% of concussions overall go unreported. You may be asking yourselves, what is a concussion? A concussion is when the brain thrusters around the inside of the skull and the impacts cause damage to the soft brain tissue. A common misconception is that helmets were made to prevent concussions, but that is simply not true. Helmets were made to fit snug on the skull and prevent skull fractures, but they still allow the brain to crash around inside your skull.
So here's our solution. Helmet Hero has designed our own line of rubber bumpers with our technology built inside. Our main feature is the 3-axis accelerometer. It measures impacts in a vertical sense, horizontal sense, and any side-to-side motion. When the device detects a force of 75 Gs or higher, it'll set off an alarm and light. This is to alert surrounding coaches and players that the athlete needs to be taken out of the game. You might be asking yourself, what is a G-force, and how can you compare that to yourself? You can compare 75 Gs to driving your car 20 miles per hour, slamming on the brakes, and coming to a complete stop. Our device can be turned off with the magnetic key fob given to coaches and athletic trainers. This is to ensure no athlete tries to turn the device off themselves to try to stay in the game.
Helmet Hero comes with a warranty program. Every other year, each device will be sent back to us with a small fee of $18 for base packages and additional bundles and $25 for retail. This will let us get eyes on our product to ensure that it's in still good working condition and doing its intended purpose. Our app will send a push notification for when the warranty and/or shelf life is about to expire and how to go about that, as we do not service any outdated or not covered devices.
Now let's talk money. To cover our startup expenses, we are asking for $355,000 in return for 15% of our company. We expect to see a full return by year 5. Now here's a message from Captain Kevin Richards at Prince William Fire and Rescue.
My name is Captain Kevin Richards. I have been with Prince William County Department of Fire and Rescue for going on 21 years now as a firefighter and paramedic. I've seen many concussive related injuries as well as sports injuries, and I fully support the project Helmet Hero, mostly because they are bringing something new to the table that will greatly improve our ability to both monitor, recognize, and eventually treat possible concussive injuries. Thank you.
We want to change the game and shift the focus from playing time to players' health. And like we said, we have had a bunch of support from our community, so enjoy this video showing so.
Hi, my name is Coach Ford. I love Helmet Hero. It's definitely a great product. I wish it was around when I was in college, and I wish I had it with my athletes. I would definitely invest in it 100% for preventative measures and also to help our guys in concussions. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach Ford. I'm Coach Z. I coach football and lacrosse. One of the biggest reasons parents pull their kids out of football is the concern for concussions. With Helmet Hero, that'll help ease their minds.
Thanks, Ziggy. Hi, I'm Coach Mars, and I've got over 25 experiences in the coaching world, and 15 of which in football. And let's be honest, this product is truly a no-brainer. With the ability to detect concussions, predict, and kind of prevent, what else would you possibly need? So remember, it's a no-brainer.
So who's our market? We predict to capture 0.25% of the total number of college and high school teams, along with the recreational sports players. By selling on our website, reaching out to schools and coaches, and attending football trade clinics, we strive to reach our market. We have read numerous stories of repeated brain trauma resulting in severe mental illnesses, some even resulting in murder and suicide. This is why, starting in our second year, we will start donating 10% of our profits to the Chuck Knoll Foundation so we can continue the brain injury research.
We have chosen Ace Electronics to be our manufacturer for their desire to create custom electronic solutions, which allows us to create our own design for Helmet Hero. Of their 3 locations, the primary one is located in Maryland, which allows our Chief Operations Officer to routinely monitor production. Along with the 2 other locations in New Jersey and Michigan, Ace Electronics will ship the products directly to our facility in Culpeper, where we will set them up before sending them out to the teams.
Here's how we're getting your money back. Our baseline package is $3,200. It comes with 50 units, app access, 24/7 tech support, and 2 reset fobs. Now we've taken into consideration that some teams are more than 50 players. So after purchasing our baseline package, teams can purchase 10 additional units for $280. This can be done as many times as needed to fit the team's players. Now for our kids in recreational sports, parents or coaches can buy 1 unit for $75. This comes with all of our app benefits at a limited margin and 1 reset fob. Here are our sales. On the left, we have base package and additional bundle sales, and on the right, we have our retail sales from year 2 to year 5. You may notice an inconsistency on the left between the orange and the black. This is because once a team purchases a base package, they will only need to purchase additional bundles. And here's our recertification. The orange shows bulk and the black shows retail. Recertification starts in year 3 for bulk and in year 4 for retail. Recertification is every other year.
We understand that there are many companies constantly trying to solve the issue of concussions. We are not able to list all of our competitors, but here are the top ones that we found. ALEC and HIT are small devices that go on the outside of helmets, primarily marketed towards biker helmets. Athlete Intelligence has several different designs, one of which being a mouthguard. But we have found having a mouthguard during a game with technology in can be intimidating for most athletes. They have several other designs intended to go on the inside of helmets, but with every helmet being so different, it's hard to make a design that fits all. The difference with Helmet Hero that would make us stand out from all the others is it's built inside our rubber bumper. And like I said, this is a feature every single football helmet has. This will allow you to wear our device during games because with NCAA and NFHS rules, you are not allowed to have any modifications or anything on the outside of your helmet during playing time. One of our other main features is our app. After our manufacturer has sent all devices into us, we will enter in the serial number and then send out a verification code to each team. This will give you access to your entire roster and previous game data such as times hit, impact taken, and even previous concussion test results. Through our app, you'll have access to player profiles, and with our 2-step verification and parent consent, you'll have access to medical records and parent information. In addition to that, you'll be able to send medical data between coaches and athletic trainers, and our app is completely HIPAA compliant.
We have hired Spin Modern Agency to construct our marketing strategy. They specialize in custom-made marketing plans, which are based on company budgets. So we have dedicated $30,000 to allow them to build our plan. These funds will be allocated towards advertising, such as billboards, signage, and social media. The main platforms we will be using are Facebook and LinkedIn to promote Helmet Hero to more professional organizations, and TikTok to appeal to the younger demographic. Another $8,000 has been set aside for business trips to football trade clinics to be attended by our Chief Executive Officer and our Chief Operations Officer.
Moving forward, Helmet Hero wants to expand our market to other helmeted and non-helmeted sports by producing different devices. Some sports may be lacrosse, softball, and basketball, and a device can be a headband for the non-helmeted sports such as cheerleading and soccer. This is why, in our 3rd year, you'll start seeing us put money aside for research and development so we can start moving towards making a new product in our 6th year. Our main goal is to decrease the number of undetected concussions, and we believe we can do so with our product and the future new ones to come. Some of you may be asking yourselves how this impacts us personally. As you can see, we've gotten a few quotes from our community who have played high-impact sports and suffered from concussions and still suffer from those symptoms today. Personally, I have done field hockey, cheerleading, and track and have suffered from multiple concussions.
I played lacrosse and I suffered a concussion in the making of this project.
I have also played lacrosse along with tennis, soccer, and basketball and have also suffered concussions.
I have done softball, basketball, track, and cross country, and while I don't have any concussions on record, I have suffered from unreported concussions. As athletes ourselves, we care about other athletes' safety. We are Helmet Hero, and now open for questions.
Let me get my timer ready. I'm ready.
Okay, nice job, guys. Presentation was done well and everything. I think the one question I have is while I was going through your presentation and reading that the NFL actually approved a new helmet for their players to use. And so I wonder, to protect against concussions, I wonder how you stay relevant for 6 years in the changing markets.
So the NFL did recently allow the Guardian cap to be used during NFL games in the regular season and playoffs. Now, this device is simply just a padded cushion that slides over top of your existing helmet. Our device will still be present underneath the Guardian cap itself and will have no restrictions due to the Guardian cap being there.
So to further answer that question, as Nick stated, helmets were made to help prevent skull fractures. So no matter how much you put on the helmet, your brain is still moving around inside with the fluid in your brain protecting it from hitting the skull. So there's nothing you can do to add in there that will help from your brain still hitting your skull to add to a concussion.
I noticed that you, of course, have insurance for liability and all, and certainly when you are guaranteeing the lack of a concussion as a result of the use of this, how do you monitor that the device is actually being used properly in the case of, say, a liability suit? In other words, you're relying upon the user or the coaches and the player to use it properly. Is there any way you can monitor whether or not it was used properly in the event of a liability suit whereby a concussion occurred?
So to restate your question, you're asking how we are making sure that they're using it the correct way?
Yeah, the proper way to protect yourselves from liability.
Yeah. So our product is easy to use, and if they further need help on how to run it or how to go about that, we are open to setting up Zoom calls or even flying out there so we can give a full demonstration. We have talked about making YouTube videos on how to use the product and how to set it up and how to have full knowledge of how our product will work.
Your team did such an amazing job, and you have covered so many considerations. It's amazing. You talked about expanding your market, and I was just wondering if you had thought about moving outside of sports into any other markets.
Yes, we have in the future with other devices that we plan to make, since this one is a rubber bumper designed for football helmets. With future designs that could go on other helmets, we hope to expand to things such as military and construction workers and other workforces that would be in dangerous places dealing with head injuries.
Great presentation and good job on your plan and the product development. As a former high school athlete and playing football that time and then playing college rugby, I literally do not remember the number of concussions I had. So I think it's relevant. The question I have really goes along to some of the recurring cost and maintenance. It wasn't clear in some of your financials in regards to not only the maintenance of the device and the helmet, but also upgrades and continuing ongoing maintenance of the app. Can you elaborate on that a little bit about how you've addressed it and covered that in your cost from an investor's viewpoint?
So our recertification is a period where during the off season, the team will send in their device and we will completely overdo and inspect the devices to make sure that it's all in proper working condition. And so after they pay us a small fee per device, which is $18 for bulk and $25 for retail. After paying that small fee, we'll look over, check all the technology, replace batteries if needed, replace lights. If there is something wrong seriously and it needs replaced, we will notify you and allow you to purchase a new one or replace it ourselves.
To reiterate that, we based our warranty and selling off of the current sale of helmets. The average football helmet costs $400 to $500 per helmet. So, and they send them back every single year to be recertified to make sure it is still good working condition, just like ours. So that's what we based it off of.
Great job, you guys. So I am a self-professed sports geek and healthcare nerd. So this kind of hits in the center of some really interesting areas for me. I think you have a really cool product. I do have a couple of concerns. So one comment is, when you say your app is HIPAA compliant, keep in mind that extends beyond the app and to the vendors and the partners that you're going to use to help share, to transfer the data, which in the day and age of cybersecurity is a really big risk. So as you explore more into your app development, just keep those in consideration. My question is around, I think you had a retail aspect to this where you were talking about recreational sport teams, coaches, parents, things along those lines. Going to the liability question earlier, you're running the risk at that point of putting clinical data into a non-clinical individual's hand and open for interpretation. So taking back to the liability piece, how do you help kind of mitigate any issues that might arise from someone who is not clinical, does not fully understand the data that they're reading?
So when you give the consent, when your parent or the verification saying that you are allowing other people to see this data, we have athletic trainers who work with us, and we take concussion tests for them, and they have all of our results and everything. So when you're hit on a field and your coach is like, hey, my athlete got hit, and they'll send him over, and then someone who is trained in the field will be the one looking over everything. And then your parent having access to it, if they take you to healthcare outside of it, they'll be able to show a doctor what happened to you during the game.
Got it. So the primary kind of expectation is if I'm a little league parent, my child has a concussion, I have the data on hand to take that to a medical provider?
Yes, sir. You'll be able to tell the doctor exactly like at what rate your son got hit or what happened to him during the game.
Great. Thanks for the clarification.
I also have a liability question, or at least a liability-related question. Is there anything in the product that could potentially void the warranty on the helmet itself? And if so, how would you co-opt the participation, maybe through co-branding, for example, with buy-in from manufacturers?
So you're talking about how when we take the rubber strip off of the helmet and how it's with Rideau, for example?
Could you potentially run into a case where having adhered something to the inside of the helmet, right, could void the warranty on the helmet itself, right? Getting back to the question of skull fracture, what the helmet was originally designed to do.
Okay, yeah. So the rubber strip that we are producing with our device in it gets replaced every other day. Like a team can go to a company and be like, hey, can I get my logo on it? Or can I get this set on it? And they can customize it every day. The helmet company, if that has a rubber strip or not, it's not going to affect it because it is customizable, and that's what it is designed for, and just to make it your own personal helmet.
I love this for maybe a reason that you don't know. So let me explain that in a minute. There's a huge need here, obviously. I've built a lot of products, and I think that it's a very natural thing to want to overdevelop a product into more than it really needs to be. And I see an opportunity for amazing simplicity here, and that's why I love this. Have you thought about nixing the app, nixing all the HIPAA stuff, all the data storage, all the design things that you talked about there, massively increasing your profit margins, and just keeping it simple? Sell this thing. If it lights up, you're off the field. Go see a doctor. Don't send it back. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Have you guys considered massively simplifying this and greatly improving your profit margins?
You have 1 minute. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
We have looked into this, and during our process, we've looked into several different ways to do it. But with this, the sports industry being such a high market and high demand, and all of our competitors wanting to change the game and keep things going, we have found that it's best for us to try to stay in modern day with technologies, because everyone's push of the button, tap of the screen, and you want it right in front of you. So we wanted to find a way to work with the people and what's going on in the market today.
So keep the cool factor, sell more. I get it. Okay. Yeah, good answer. Thank you.
You have 30 seconds left. Anything quick.
How much time did you guys spend on this working together?
3-4 months.
About
the class, the semester.
And you were a team before or not?
Actually, we knew of each other. We just hadn't met in person beforehand.
Thank you.
All right, 13 seconds left. I'm going to call it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Mhm. Next up is food check at 11:25. Good job, Johnny. Please welcome food check. Morning. Good morning. Sorry, let me go this way. Morning. Morning, sweetie. Welcome. Certainly, last but not least. As you know, you have 15 minutes to present, and I'll give you a 1-minute warning if needed. And when you start, I'll start.
Hello, and thank you for being here. We're Food Check. Our app is convenient for those people who have allergies. Before we dive in about our app, we would like to introduce ourselves. Hello, I'm Kira. I am the CMO of Food Check. I'm a varsity cheerleader at CC. I like to take business classes for hopefully one day I can start my own business.
My name is Sydney Agger, and I am a hardworking student athlete. I took E Squared because it's out of my comfort zone and it's a challenge for my senior year. I am also allergic to sage.
I'm Jair Arias, our CFO. I decided to take E Squared to prepare myself for any future opportunities I may have lined up for myself.
And I'm Caleb Smith, our CEO. When I'm not working hard to make sure our business is on track, I love going hiking and drawing, and running track and cross country. I took E Squared because I wanted to challenge myself in my senior year, and boy was I right. I also have 9 food allergies. If you look at these 2 delicious plates of chicken wings on the screen, you can tell they're 2 different menu items. If you're very familiar with the Domino's menu, you might even be able to tell which one is sweet barbecue bacon and which one is classic hot buffalo. However, can you tell just by looking which one of these 2 items contains egg? Many people might not think this question makes any difference, but for those with a food allergy to egg, this question is quite literally life or death. Everyone loves being able to share a meal out with their friends and family, but people with food allergies are severely limited when it comes to eating out. The question is then, how can people with food allergies know what food is safe for them to eat? When you're at the store, it's pretty easy. You can look at the ingredient label on the back of a product to see what it has in it and whether or not it's safe. But when it comes to eating out at restaurants, things are much more difficult.
Checking for ingredients can be cumbersome, uncertain, and inconsistent. If a restaurant posts their menu information online, this does serve as a safe way to find the ingredients that you're looking for. Normally, this information is behind pages and pages and pages of information, and no customer wants to scroll through pages and pages and pages of information just to find the one allergen that they're looking for. This leads to frustration. If a restaurant does not post their menu information online, a customer can resort to calling. And if a customer resorts to calling, they can be put on the phone with an untrained employee or a clueless employee. You can ask them the question like, is this food item in this, or is this food item in that? And they can respond with, I don't know, or I'm not sure. This leads to frustration, and you still don't know what's in the food. When it comes to allergen and intolerances, many restaurants are good, but many more are bad.
This isn't some theoretical problem. This is a problem we have dealt with in our own lives. The video you see here shows the process of trying to find restaurants' ingredients online. This is the same process that I have to go through anytime I want to eat out. I can't rely on a restaurant I've eaten at before as being safe either, because restaurants change their ingredients all the time. Just within the past year, both McDonald's and Chick-fil-A changed their ingredients and have started using pea starch and pea protein in products such as hamburger buns and french fries, and because I'm allergic to peas, I can no longer eat at either of these 2 restaurants. Even today, I had to pack my own lunch because I don't know what ingredients are in the meal that was provided.
For 17 years of my life, I went without knowing that I had a food allergy, until one day I ate something and I had a bad allergic reaction. I went to the hospital and they told me that I was allergic to sage. Now, I live my life in fear, knowing that I could eat sage again, and I don't know that it's in the food. And what's the solution to that?
In the time it took us to tell you that, we were just now able to find the allergen information. But if you look closely, this isn't even complete information. This is simply an index of the top 9 allergies. So for those with food allergies beyond the top 9, like myself and many others, this information is simply insufficient. In response to these problems, we developed FoodCheck. By providing a database of restaurants' ingredients, FoodCheck serves as a one-stop shop for people with food allergies who are looking to eat out. Not only does FoodCheck gather restaurants' information all in one place, but this information is directly accessible from just a quick search for a restaurant. To start, FoodCheck will gather this information from restaurants who have already published their ingredients online. However, we decided that this wasn't enough. In order to actually verify the information that we provide, FoodCheck will hire certified food protection managers who will seek partnerships with restaurants on our behalf to verify their information. And this is part of our FoodCheck Verified program. And restaurants who partner with us as part of this program must update us immediately of any ingredient changes, and they'll be listed as FoodCheck Verified on our app to indicate the extra degree of confidence in their accuracy.
We will be asking for $380,000 for a 25% stake in our company. You can expect a 100% return on investment by year 5. $100,000 will go towards app development done by Goji Labs. Another $100,000 will go towards promotional expenses, and $80,000 will be our pre-opening salaries.
These costs include the basic things like rent, legal fees, insurance, and we've also reserved a little over $60,000 for contingency reasons.
We're excited to pronounce this week we found out that we're partnering with FAIR. Caleb, can you tell us a little bit more about FAIR?
FAIR stands for Food Allergy Research and Education, and they are the biggest sponsor of research for food allergies. They are also huge advocates for legislation and regulation that benefits people with food allergies. It is no exaggeration to say that they are the biggest player in the game when it comes to food allergies.
Jair, can you tell us what this means for our business?
This partnership with FAIR allows FoodCheck to be seen as more credible to those with food allergies. This will boost the number of customers that we have and our retainment rate. This increase in credibility will boost our sales revenue and our profits much higher than what was originally projected in our business plan.
Sid, can you tell us a little bit more about FAIR?
One of the most important parts of E Squared is seeking out information from professionals. At the start of the class, we reached out to FAIR and they did respond. This initial response was positive and it was recorded in our business plan. Within the last week, we followed up with FAIR and Kelly Clearly, the Senior Director of Education and Support Programs at FAIR, responded and actually read our business plan. As you can see, her quote is here on the screen. Kelly clearly said she would be willing to push FoodCheck due to her colleagues at FAIR, and this is tremendous for our business. Tremendous.
When users first open the app, they'll see restaurants recommended based off popularity and popularity among those with similar food allergies. In the second image, you'll see the allergen menu, where users can add items to their avoid list and to their caution list. In that last image, you'll see that once the user has found the item that they would like to eat, they're now seeing the comprehensive ingredient list. You'll see that soy is highlighted in yellow to indicate that it's in the user's caution list. Should any of those ingredients been on the user's avoid list, they would have been highlighted in red.
As we mentioned before, we'll be taking information from the restaurants' websites to put in our database. We will also be, once we launch our app, we will be adding restaurants to our FoodCheck Verified program, and also adding restaurants that really haven't been helpful with food allergies before. In year 3, we plan on partnering with colleges and universities too.
The development of our app will be done by Goji Labs. We chose Goji Labs over several other competitors because of their pricing and experience. Goji Labs has developed many apps for many notable companies like World Health Organization, World Wildlife Funds, and Mitsubishi. After our app is developed and released, we will continue to pay Goji Labs for any general accessibilities, bug fixes, and any features and updates we may like to add in the near future.
In the food allergy app scene, there are very few similar to FoodCheck. Our closest competitors are Spoken and Allergy Eats. These two apps operate more similarly to Yelp, as the information they provide is inaccurate as it comes from a user's personal experience and their opinion. FoodCheck, however, provides up-to-date information about a restaurant's ingredients.
Although food tech has a niche market, this does not mean it's a small market. There are 30 million Americans with food allergies. Some estimates even say 33 million Americans with food allergies. This number doesn't account for people who will use our app who do not have food allergies. Those reasons being health reasons, dietary restrictions, and religious reasons. Because we are a new company, we would like to use conservative numbers while calculating. And with that being said, we would like to use conservative numbers. And we would like our target market to be parents of children with food allergies. And there are 4 million kids in America with food allergies. And we would like to capture 1% of that market. And 1% of that market gives us 42,050 expected customers in year one. This is all calculated in our profit and expenses.
The cornerstone of Food Check is promotion and marketing strategy. To reach our target market, we will be partnered with WebFX, the biggest marketing firm out there. They offer digital promotions such as pay-per-click ads.
WebFX also provides SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. This will allow Food Check to appear higher up on searches for food allergies and other key terms.
WebFX also manages social media promotion, and this is valuable because it allows us to reach a wide variety of people all at once and cater our promotion to our specific target market. We plan on allocating $250,000 to WebFX in our first year, and then in year 3, this will increase to $300,000 to match with our expansion to colleges and universities.
To show that our restaurant is Food Check verified, we will be handing out the decals that we have here, and this will show that the restaurant is partnering with us. These restaurants will go on their windows like Better Business Bureaus, DoorDash, and Grubhub, and this will also help promote our app.
The posters that we're passing out to you right now are the posters that are going to be around doctors' offices all around the country. If you scan the poster, it shows you our website. We also talked to Dr. Williams from UVA Pediatrics, and he's offering to put our posters up without any cost.
These numbers were calculated before our big partnership with FAIR. And in the original projections, Food Check was expected to generate over $1.6 million in year one, and that number was expected to grow to over $2.6 million in year 5. This was calculated by taking the number of customers that we have in every year by our monthly subscription rate of $5 and our annual subscription rate of $50. And we also took into account that people would be unsubscribing from the app. In every year of operations, Food Check is profitable, and profits increase in every year except year 2, and that's because we reinvested more money into the company, and we still remain profitable.
Thank you for listening. We are Food Check. At this time, we will take any questions you have.
All right. You guys got your digital marketing stuff down. You got a cool app prototype. You got it all going on. I commend you bringing forth an idea that helps folks that struggle with normal everyday things, like just going out to eat, like you mentioned, Caleb, bringing a little bit of normalcy to their lives. So great job. And I don't think this is a niche market, by the way. I do think that, there's, like you said, millions and millions of people that struggle with this. Here's what I struggle with. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know that you're solving a big enough part of the problem to create a compelling buy decision with enough folks. And let me explain what I mean by that. And then I'll ask you if you've thought about this. This is a question, I promise. So your app provides people that want to go to restaurants that have published their nutritional information an easy way to tell, can I order this or can I not? But there's parts of this problem that are unsolvable in the way you're trying to solve this. Like, for instance, I like It's About Time downtown. It's one of my favorite restaurants. They change their menu every day or every couple days. You can't solve the nutritional allergy problem with that restaurant. And Caleb, you even mentioned you had to pack your own lunch today because you didn't know what they were going to be serving. So this app doesn't solve those problems. And I just wonder, in your research, do you think you've solved enough of the problem to propel your business model?
I do. This is why we've hired our certified food protection managers, because they have the experience and the training necessary to enter into these restaurants who haven't published them before and partner with them and say, hey, we're offering you this service because now you're going to be able to open up your market to people with food allergies who, like you said, haven't been going to these restaurants because they don't know what they can eat in them. And so we're providing a service for that restaurant. So they're going to want to partner with us, especially ones who haven't done it before. And for these companies who haven't done it before, it might take a little bit longer to get going, but we're starting by doing something that no one else out there is doing. And so as we grow and as we expand, we can get better at this, and we will be able to provide information for those restaurants as we grow.
In addition to that, you were wondering if it was compelling enough to make a customer want to buy it. Our primary research has found that most would be willing to buy it, and they found that our prices were very reasonable.
I'm curious if you've thought about the potential for revenue stream from some other sources. Like, if this is a product that is essentially a digital version of Eat This, Not That, right? So a little bit in contrast to your question, right? Which is you're looking at restaurants that are available all across the country, right? That you have a certain universality, a kind of generic offering, right? And not get too caught up in making it super, super specific, but this is something you could roll out anywhere. Along those lines, is there any ability to entice them to pay to be verified as an additional revenue stream for you?
We have considered that, and that is something that we definitely would plan on implementing going forward. We didn't have the time to calculate that with all of our other expenses as well, but that is absolutely something we have considered and plan to pursue going forward.
Great job, you guys. Adding on to the first question, I do have some concerns around the app itself, specifically around the information accuracy. So I understand what you've laid out. It's very much sort of self-reported, or these food managers that are going to go in and secure that information. But because that information, in theory, could harm the restaurant as a business, right? How are you ensuring and mitigating, one, that doesn't happen, and two, the information, if they are changing their menus on a regular basis, is updated that consistently as well? That's a huge lift, and you guys had a pretty limited amount of office hours and kind of labor time on the back end from what I remember in the business plan.
Right. Could you rephrase that real quick?
Sure. So I'm looking at this in terms of information management, to just boil it down, right? If we take It's About Time as an example, and they're changing their menu every couple of days, hypothetically, right? How are you all managing that on the back end, given the resources and how you've allocated, which is quite a bit towards your digital marketing? You have these food service managers that you are implying you're going to hire with some pretty limited kind of work hours, from what I recall. If we're changing our menus on a regular basis, how do you ensure that the information that the individuals of your users, right, are getting is correct and not inaccurate?
Right. So when we partner with a restaurant, they will enter into a contractual agreement with us that whenever they change their menu, it must be updated on our app, and they can update that directly, and the app will refresh at the end of each day, so the menu is always up to date. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Good job on your presentation. I'm not going to ask you a question because you've been asked a lot of tough questions already. So I'm going to give you, usually when I go into the room, I'm a banker, I'm the greedy capitalist in the room. So I'm going to give you a greedy capitalist point of view of something you may want to consider. In your modeling, you actually ran through your subscription program as being a 3-year, 5-year, or an annual plan. There was no enticer too much to go to the annual plan. A lot of organizations on the subscription base will do a 30-day trial, which automatically kicks you into the annual subscription. Generally, folks will go beyond 30 days, so you get that annual revenue. It then automatically renews without you having to you have to cancel, automatically renew. Gives you more stabilized recurring revenue stream. So for the greedy capitalist looking to get his investment in return, I'd much rather see that type of modeling. So if you may want to give consideration in the future.
You guys did an excellent job. It's an excellent product, and you've had an excellent presentation. I disagree. I think restaurants like It's About Time won't participate in this app, and really most of America may go to a restaurant like that once a month, if they can even afford that. So I have a 29-year-old son. If this had been around then, he has no allergies, but I would have definitely been a customer because of all of his soccer friends that I always had to take to McDonald's and take here and take here. And really, the only thing worse than your kid having an allergy attack is somebody else's kid having an allergy attack, and you have no clue to what's going on. So I think you have all the soccer moms in America, and I think you're doing a great job, and I will be your first customer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. As a venture capitalist, I'm always concerned about barriers to entry, high or low, and this one seems to be one that there are probably low barriers to entry that someone else might be able to replicate the service. How do you plan on protecting your market from others coming in and replicating your service? You did a great job, by the way, in the presentation as a grandfather of a 4-year-old who knows that he has food allergies now. He would certainly love this app and probably do a better job of using it than his parents, but thank you.
Yeah, we have considered filing for a patent to protect our idea from being duplicated, but no one else has attempted this so far, so yeah.
Thank you.
And to protect ourselves, I mean, we have that huge partnership with FAIR, which allows us to be seen as more credible to those with food allergies, so they're more inclined to choose us over any other competitor.
Absolutely.
In your presentation and your report's been very good. I didn't see the cost of your competition, what they're charging a month or.
Are you speaking of Spoken and Allergy
Yeah.
Eats? They're free. Mm-hmm.
And what?
Our primary market research has found that most customers are willing to pay what we are asking for.
Okay.
And just to elaborate on that, Spoken and Allergy Eats don't do what we're doing. So if someone's using Spoken Allergy Eats, they can look up a restaurant and users will have rated that restaurant on it based on how allergy friendly they are. But the process of going in and checking the ingredients is still completely on the user of that. They don't provide this detailed information that we are providing, which is why we have determined that $5 a month or $50 annually is a more than reasonable price for what we're offering.
So you're saying that your competition is based on people's comments, not on analysis.
Yes.
We have time for one more quick question.
Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, you took too long. I'm calling time. Congratulations, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hang on before we go to break, if everybody could just indulge me for a couple more minutes. There are 3 guys that I have to thank, and I'm doing this now because I need the teams to go with one of these gentlemen. Johnny K., John Krawchuk, if you'd stand and wave, sir, from Culpeper Media Network. Ian back there, a graduate of Eastern View High School, owner of INL DJing, and he was my first entrepreneur, and he really made it big. Thank you, Ian. And then Mr. Corbin, I need you to stand and wave. When we go to break, I need the teams to go with Mr. Corbin, please, so he can get your official picture. That's the timer that we're done. We are going to take probably 15 to 20-ish minutes to just these 2 folks go do the scoring, and then they tell us the winner, and I write a big $10,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 check to present them. So please take a break. I know that it's a longer break than we've had, but we'll give you a warning to come back. Thank you.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. The scores have been tabulated, and we are close
but not quite there yet to announcing the winning team. We like to stretch out the suspense here. We need to recognize participants that become members of the E Squared Honor Society. This society was established to recognize any participant on any of the teams. These teams could have presented today or at prelims. The teams have had 4 judges say that, yes, we will invest in your company. In addition, the participant must have received an A in their E Squared class. These students will be recognized at their high school graduation by wearing a green E Squared honor cord, as well as having their name in the graduation program. This cord is well deserved and is a way to recognize any participant that meets the qualifications. So as you see these students graduate, look for the green cords. Now for a quick video that is near and dear to my heart.
Hi, I'm Jeb, Eastern View class of 2013.
I'm Tiffany, CCHS class of 2008.
I'm Nikki, CCH class of 2002.
And I'm Roki, CCHS class of 1995. In 1997, leaders of local government, business, and the school system hosted an educational summit to address concern that Culpeper High School graduates were not ready for the workplace. The outcome of this summit was the formation of the educational nonprofit known today as Career Partners. Career Partners' flagship program, Entrepreneurial Energy, or E Squared, the reason why we're all here today, was launched in 2008. Since its inception, it has awarded high school entrepreneurs with over $240,000 in educational scholarships.
One of the founding members of the organization and Career Partners' first president was Bob Jepson, known to the 4 of us as Grandpa Kid. Bob was a successful businessman and community leader in Culpeper County from 1972 until his passing in 2013. Bob's wisdom, generosity, and tireless commitment to serving his community was in no small part responsible for the 20 years Career Partners has successfully served the students of Culpeper.
Every year, E Squared has presented the Coaches Award to those participating students who exhibit exceptional energy and commitment to their respective team projects and exemplify the principles of teamwork, honesty, integrity, leadership, perseverance, and confidence. In addition to these qualities, Bob was a visionary who always approached a challenge or opportunity with these lasting words: "How can I help?" He loved his family, he loved his community, and he loved giving.
We are proud and excited to announce that this prestigious recognition will continue to be made in honor and memory of Bob Jepson, our grandfather, who personified these qualities and principles to the benefit and success of Career Partners and E Squared. We congratulate all recipients and hope that you will help us carry his legacy forward. And now, Sandy Boone will announce the results.
And on behalf of Sandy, Sandy can't see right now. She just had eye surgery. So I am going to announce the winners of the Bob Jepson Award. Bear with me because there's description as to why each of these students deserve this award. And as I mention your names, students, please come up here with me. Each of these students are awarded an $800 scholarship. First one, Isabella Bazeo. All right. Bella is the energy that kept this team moving. Always positive and optimistic, Bella kept her team motivated and enthusiastic about improving their project. She worked on their business plans at all hours of the night and was always ready to answer questions and help her team. Her commitment to the team workload was crucial in producing solid end product that they submitted and you saw today. We know she will go far in her career after high school. Peyton Ingham. Peyton consistently demonstrated a combination of intelligence, creativity, and resilience that sets her apart during the E Squared semester. She guided her team with outstanding communication skills, empathy, and commitment that rallied others towards a shared vision of their business plan. We believe that Peyton has the qualities necessary to excel in business world and beyond. And these comments came from both their coaches and the teachers. Morgan Kidd. Morgan entered E Squared ready to absorb and learn all that he could from the process. He approached the project with patience and emerged a leader on his team, helping members stay on task, communicate, and work together as a team. He's taken lessons on time management, leadership, and communication, which he also looks forward to carrying with him. Emma Bianchin. Emma helped her team strive to be creative. She was always ready to add additional tasks to her workload and expand what their team's finished product looked like to ensure that it was the very best it could be. Her knowledge of branding, marketing, and overall positive attitude added to her team's final product. She will certainly excel in the future. Sedona Altman. Sedona showcased and grew her aptitude for leadership and communication during this E Squared semester. She was instrumental in leading the financial efforts with her team. She developed innovative modifications to their product to optimize financial growth and performance. She possessed exceptional communication skills that conveyed ideas, timelines, milestones, and clarity. Bennett Sutherland. Silly Sock was Bennett's idea from the start. His leadership and commitment to the concept and depth of his research brought his teammates and coaches fully on board. Simply stated, he's an inspirational figure, a trait shared by many successful entrepreneurs. He led his team to not only by example, but also by using interpersonal skills to keep the whole team focused on the mission. His enthusiasm and his work ethic are contagious, which in our opinion is why a business with any product that many might second guess, or at least first blush, has a real shot at winning E Squared. Jonathan Johnson. Johnny was a motivating and leading force for Helmet Hero. He was from the very beginning of the semester all the way to the finals. He maintained forward progress with his team and exhibited leadership skills. By example, he kept his cool and a calm attitude, even when tensions were running high. Go figure. He kept attention to detail, listened, and asked relevant questions during coaching sessions. Noah Capaci. Noah took his role as CTO of Illuminate Alert very seriously. His commitment to the project stood out at preliminaries when he stepped in and was able to repair a broken prototype just in time to demonstrate its functionalities to the judges. If he had not been able to do this repair, the presentation would have been lost or at best incomplete. A key attribute of successful entrepreneurs is the ability to seize the moment, step up in very high-pressure situations, and Noah has certainly demonstrated his ability to do this when matters most. Elizabeth Staten. Elizabeth has provided directional leadership to her team and her coaches. There's some inside joke that I was supposed to note here about the coaches meant this to be a little funny. She knows what needs to be accomplished and connects her team to do the work needed. She took initiative to make connections with the community members and leaders to validate her team's plan. Elizabeth has what it takes to be successful in business and in life. Oh, I get it now. You educated the coaches. Griffin Tanner demonstrated creative perseverance to our team with the design for Slam It. We faced several design obstacles in the initial part of our planning, but Griffin would keep it going and show up the next day with the new design. Something wonderful happens during E Squared when all members are invested, and Griffin lived this idea. He and his family spent many hours outside of school investing in this prototype idea, so kudos to Griffin for understanding the assignment. Caleb Smith. Caleb brought a personal story and outstanding creativity to Food Check. His graphics were amazing. He's encouraging to his team while also holding the team to a high standard. Caleb writes, speaks, and presents himself on a level comparable to adults in the industry for many years. Jair Arias. Jair's prior knowledge of spreadsheets carried over into E Squared. He displayed a remarkable understanding of his financial aspect of their business plan. He would often engage coaches in the smallest detail of the financial plan and was able to explain it bit by bit to his teammates as well. Alexa Strickland. Alexa is an E Squared alumni. She came in ready to put in the hours. She stayed late, worked from home, and brought a lot of energy in to her team. She will major in business and has plans to come back to give back to E Squared in the future. She's the exact type of student this program was designed for. Last but not least, Susie Ishmael. Susie doesn't think so, but she has a bright future in public speaking. Susie's a great teammate, a joy to coach, and her quiet confidence was key to the success of her team. So please join me in applauding these young students. Congratulations. It's hard playing singing.
You know, you were awesome.
All right, now the moment we've been waiting for. Congratulations to all the teams, those in prelims, those who made it here to finals. This is really a culmination of all of your hard work, your dedication, perseverance. I hold the infamous envelope, the same one that Randy has used for 16 years. I think thrifty is the right word to use. So, all right, let's I'm supposed to get a thumbs up from Johnny K back there whenever he's ready. All right, this year, 2024's E Squared winner is, drum roll please, Helmet Hero, CCHS.
All right, a sincere thank you to everyone, and we will see you back here next year for year number 17. Congrats to everyone.
I studied that. I studied that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.